Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Thunder Rosa and welcome to Tru Heel Heat.
¿Qué tal amigos de Tru Heel Heat? Les habla el más buscado. A todos mis amigos les mando un saludo, un abrazo y ya saben, tendidos como bandidos.
Yes, we got a jam-packed show on a special day, a special time. I know you're used to seeing us on Saturdays, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, but we're here on a Friday because tomorrow is a jam-packed day. Elimination Chamber starting at noon to No Surrender starting at 8 p.m. So we are here to give preview and predictions for those shows as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling, but we are definitely here to talk about Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for a possible WWE return, Stone Cold Steve Austin's in-ring return, possible at WrestleMania 38. It's been a jam-packed, news-filled week of Tru Heel Heat, and we are here to wrap it all up on Tru Heel Heat 163. Producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and welcome to Tru Heel Heat 163, Stone Cold Crossroads, discussing the latest wrestling news, including Cody Rhodes leaving AEW for a possible WWE return, Stone Cold Steve Austin making a potential in-ring return at WrestleMania 38, recap of the weekend wrestling with all the weekly shows, AEW, NXT Vengeance Day, WWE Raw, Impact on AXS TV, preview and predictions for WWE Elimination Chamber, Impact Wrestling No Surrender, and New Japan Pro Wrestling Golden Series finale, plus much more. And I am here once again with the beautiful, the lovely princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love.
Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Happy Friday. This jam-packed wrestling weekend. It's going to be a lot, guys. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. And we want to hear from all of you guys in the live chat. Your super chat donations are so important. We are a self-funded YouTube channel. It helps us out greatly. Whatever dollar, whatever donation you could give. We like to highlight your comment, talk about it, give your hot take, your thoughts, the respect it deserves. And we talk about it on screen with you. And of course, we try to highlight as many as your comments as possible. So let us know in the live chat. And of course, drop a thumbs up on this video, share it with all your friends, subscribe if you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, and hit that bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And if you want to support even more, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat for additional content where you can help out the channel even more. We got Christopher Ryan Cooper in the live chat with us saying, yo, what up, Tru Heel Heat fam? We got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson saying, what's up, my Tru Heel family? Happy Friday. We got, he also says, real quick, congratulations, yes, to Chris G, our number one man, the marijuana enthusiast of all the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, on becoming a two-time baby making champion. he posted up the sonogram on social media.
Oh my God,
yes,
congrats, guys.
Yes, congrats to Chris G. Producer got to clip this for him, showing love. We got another baby Tru Heel in the family. We won't call him a pot heel yet. We don't know how much influence.
No, don't say that. No, not yet.
I'm gonna leave that alone. We also got one of my favorites, always bringing the laughs in the live chat, EBB, saying Friday ? What a lovely treat. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, we're here on a special Friday because tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. That's a short window before Elimination Chamber starts at noon. So we decided to push it up a day. We were supposed to be joined by Top Guy JJ, but I don't know if he's on CP time or Alcoholics time. It is happy hour somewhere, so you never know with him. We also got in the live chat a super chat donation. Thank you so much, CM, another one of my favorites.
CM.
Always bringing that heat and telling the truth. I love CM.
Yes, love
she
her.
said this week between Cody, Brandy, and the Swole interview, the fans have been SMH. You are telling the truth, sister. That is an understatement to say the least with everything.
It's hard to keep up.
Woo, that's went down this week. We're gonna get into it. We also got the Mixed Tag Show. Blue, I think it is. Yes, Blue, saying what's up, guys. Alone at work, tuned in. We appreciate you tuning in, joining us on the special Friday edition of Tru Heel Heat. But we're gonna start things off with our Tru Heel roll call as per usual, shouting out everyone who's supporting us on social media and the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel and our Patreon backers, of course. Our top 3 conversation starters over on our Tru Heels group page on Facebook. Number 3 is Jermaine Packman. Coming in at number 2, Krssi Love. He went from 3 to 2. He's steadily coming up. It's our boy, Alan Weinstein.
What?
Mr. Weinstein is up to number 2. He took the call for arms from Miss Krssi Love and Top Guy JJ. He's up to number 2 now. Number 1, of course, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, as per usual. Patreon backers that we got to shout out. Nick Jackson is up there. We got Vala B, aka Blind Rar. We got Alan Weinstein himself, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Slam and Sammy Joe, you my boy Blue, Yachty, Robert Haynes, Steve Salvage, Antoine Rutledge, and 5th Generation Carney. Of course, if you want your name shout out on the Tru Heel Heat weekly flagship podcast, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, $3 a month. You can support the channel so much, as well as you get more exclusive content like my 3 count with SP3, where I had to cover some of the news that went down this week. We got Negro Buck, who says, hope Alan can get used to being number 2.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Before WrestleMania, Nick Jackson's like, nope, you're not going to get my spot.
Not going to get there. No. But let's get into this top news stories, because these are 2 huge ones we got to discuss, Miss Krssi Love. And I had to break this down, because this is a lot. So I broke this down into 3, because we're going to talk about Cody and Brandi Rhodes leaving AEW and a possible WWE return for Cody Rhodes. On Tuesday, Sean Ross Sapp, the Adrian Wojnarowski of professional wrestling of Fightful Select, reported that Cody Rhodes and AEW were yet to come to an agreement, and there is likely an announcement that was going to be made. This was following the news last month that Cody was in fact a free agent. They also noted that the word was the 2 sides were unable to reach an agreement, and Cody Rhodes could be leaving the company and is headed to WWE. Fightful followed up reporting that Cody Rhodes and Brandi Rhodes have left AEW after they could not come to terms on a new contract. Fightful was told by AEW sources last Friday that Cody sought a big money deal, and several didn't think that a re-signing was going to happen. By that night, numerous people inside and outside the company had knowledge of the situation and were of the belief that Cody was leaving the company. However, inquiries started to come to Cody directly over the weekend, which he claimed were spun. AEW would in fact announce around 10 a.m. on Tuesday that Cody and Brandi Rhodes were departing the company, Tony Khan releasing a statement on AEW social media, as well as Cody and Brandi following up with statements of their own. Shortly before the announcement, WWE officials were aware of the situation and also knew that an announcement would be dropped. Fightful heard that the 2 ties had at least had discussions, but WWE was well aware that an announcement regarding Rhodes' departure was to be made at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Waiting with the contract. About 15 minutes before Cody's announcement, word had also spread to AEW talent that he was leaving the company. Cody Rhodes and Brandy haven't been quite as connected to the locker room in recent years as when AEW started, with word emerging that Cody had become distant from other EVPs. This report started last year by PW Torch and BodySlam.net that Cody and the rest of the EPs were not getting along and not as close as they once were. However, Wade Keller of PW Torch reported that the EVPs have been getting along well lately. Rhodes reportedly told the other EVPs that he was unhappy 2 weeks ago. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer also reports that the EVPs were getting along the best they have in a long time and were working on future projects together just last week. Fightful Select further noted that many talent that they spoke to were suspicious that Cody Rhodes' entire contract situation had been a work, with a lot of question marks regarding the legitimacy. However, they came to the realization that the situation was real. It became clear to a few by Friday that a deal likely wouldn't be reached. Fightful heard from AEW sources that some had reached out to Cody over the weekend, but the situation was downplayed, and even said that word of him leaving was conjured, and he was simply negotiating. Those that had spoke to him say that he claimed he loved working with AEW and Tony Khan, and there were several production employees in AEW who were partial to working with Cody as he went to bat for them within the company. Despite reports to the contrary, Fightful never gained a confirmation that Rhodes to the Top would be returning for a second season, despite asking Warner Media, AEW, and TNT and numerous times. Those that Fightful spoke to in AEW have not seen any filming for the programming taking place of late. There are hopes that other wrestlers can be featured on reality programs, including Darby Allin being filmed as of late. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer, the new belief from those in AEW is that the reality show centered on Cody and Brandy's relationship will not be coming back. One of the many hats that Cody wore in AEW was running the Nightmare Factory training facility with QT Marshall. According to Dave Meltzer, it appears that won't be changing. Meltzer wrote, and I quote, "Behind the scenes, both had major positions. Cody was an executive vice president and headed community relations and was also partners with QT Marshall on the Nightmare Factory training school, where he will remain a part of." Numerous sources reported that Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan had a financial dispute that led to his departure. Andrew Zarian, one of our former guests of the Matman podcast, noted that the Forbes article and video rubbed people in AEW the wrong last year that came out, including Cody. Sports Illustrated reported that a key factor in Cody's departure was losing all responsibilities involving booking. The report explains the decision for Cody to take full reign over creative in AEW played a role in Rhodes making the eventual decision to leave. The report read, "That is a role where Khan, who is the head of creative, has taken full reign. Originally, Rhodes was part of that process. As great as Dusty Rhodes was as a performer, his contributions as a booker are an integral part of his legacy. For Rhodes, AEW represented another chance to pay homage to his father as a booker while also further cementing his own legacy. Losing that opportunity in AEW hurt Rhodes more than any loss he suffered in the ring." Per TMZ, Rhodes and Khan fell out with one another as Khan's visibility within the company grew. While not confirmed, this could refer to the period where Khan decided to change his organization strategy for AEW creative plans. In the hours that followed Cody and Brandy's departure from All Elite Wrestling, more wrestlers were talking. Fightful reiterated that plenty knew throughout the weekend ahead of Tuesday's announcement that something was up. But almost nobody would explicitly state that what was going on between AEW and Cody Rhodes. There were mixed feelings and a lot of emotions on both sides of things, as Rhodes has been seen as polarizing on and off screen. However, Fightful heard plenty of support for the Rhodes within AEW, and were told that although there were some disagreements, the split was at least amicable. So it's a lot, Miss Krssi Love.
I'm about to say that was a mouthful. Like I don't even know where we're supposed to start with all of this. Who did that? Who did
Shout
that?
outs I don't know. I gotta. You please look up the Twitter user because he replied to one of my comments because I put a whole promo of what Vince would be saying to Cody, saying that your quest for the end of racism motivated us to have 2 African American women in the main event of WrestleMania. It forced us to have our last three of our last 4 WWE champions were African American. Cody, you inspired us. A civil rights icon. Shout out to the Public Enemies podcast because they posted the original tweet that I responded to, and then someone posted that meme right there, which is awesome. But Krssi, what was your initial reaction to hearing that Cody and Brandi Rhodes were leaving AEW?
Okay, so first started with him being a free agent. Okay, great. No red flags really, because most people that are at AEW are like free agents. They'll like be there for a certain period of time. And then they go, they flip-flop around to other, companies. So that wasn't a red flag. Where the red flag now came is when they sent out this long letter or, press release saying that they're now leaving. And you read and you touched on it like something had to be up with him and Tony. Because how are you leaving a company that you helped start build? You started it. You didn't, you, Omega, the Bucks, all of y'all did this. This is your baby, and you leave it. Why? So now it makes sense a little bit in that as you kept reading along, and then it was like, Nick, Mr. Khan, as per usual, somewhere had his hand in the cookie jar and is mixing things up, and the Rhodes didn't like that. The Rhodes are not happy, so they leave. Why leave? Was there any time to fight for it, or you feel like it's probably not worth fighting for? Is what I would like to know. That's the the question I need answered. Is there, because once you became a free agent, I figure you want to just like do other things, be home and more, do like the big show or whatever the show that you do other things that you want to be more open to do, be free. Now that Mr. Khan is a part of this big thing and creative and all that stuff. Maybe he didn't want to lose the 2 belts. Maybe he didn't, maybe he won the 2 belts for a reason and then dropped them. Like, it don't make any sense to me. It's very, very sketchy. Something is missing. Someone is not telling us the other part of the story.
So let me continue on with the story.
Oh God, more? There's more? Oh God, SP. I'm so sorry. I hope you got water.
Hey, I got my drink down here.
Okay, good.
Let me take a sip real quick.
Because this is a lot. I mean, you reading this is like, oh my God, he's still reading.
This is a soap opera. There were some positive stories of Rhodes doing things for the roster in AEW, like setting up a bar at Daly's place. Then others that said that his tumultuous relationships over the past couple of years had been a detriment to the company. All the way through the process, there were people in AEW that believed his entire contract situation was a work, which waned significantly over the last weekend. Of the dozens of talent and staff across wrestling that Fightful spoke to, there was still some skepticism regarding the situation, but almost everyone was of the belief that Tony Khan would not work his own talent regarding this situation, as he's seen as a player's manager, so to speak. Those Fightful heard from said that Tony Khan didn't openly discuss the contract matters backstage to their knowledge at AEW Dynamite this week. It should also be noted that Dave Meltzer reported that Tony Khan had an option that he could have exercised another year for Cody's deal, similar to what he did with Chris Jericho and the Young Bucks. He extended them for 1 more year, but he didn't. It remains unknown as to why. According to Fightful Select, the mood backstage at AEW Dynamite was largely unchanged in the AEW locker room. Fightful reports that everyone they asked noted that things were business as usual, with one source quick to note that in pro wrestling, life goes on. The company appeared to have removed the former EVP from most of the company's marketing, including the opening of AEW Dynamite this week. Reddit user Interlude pointed out that Cody no longer appears on the AEW Revolution poster, as well as he shared the comparison of the images with Keith Lee's face replacing Cody's on the poster. Following a significant drop in AEW Dynamite viewership this week, Cody Rhodes publicly addressed fans about his departure. Replying to a Twitter user who said they didn't watch last night's show due to Cody leaving, Rhodes tweeted that he still wants fans to watch All Elite Wrestling for all the talented stars they have. He said, and I quote, "I'd encourage you to still watch it. I was very lucky that my hard work led to me be that face, but I wasn't alone. Nick, Matt, Kenny, Chicken, Jericho, MJF, Hang were as well. And all the new girls and guys putting in a shift now as well. Wrestling is thriving." And just to note, Chicken is Dustin Rhodes, just so you're aware. And yeah, super gluing that damn chair back together that he smashed up at Double or Nothing 2019. But we got to hear the initial reaction to this news from our other co-host. The three of us is back together, the OG trio. It is the resident Tru Heel alcoholic candle maker himself, Top Guy JJ. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, boo.
What it do, y'all? Yo, you know when your computer talks to you and says, "Reset that bitch"? SP sounded crazier than normal. So I said, yeah, I have to reset this bitch. I have to reset everything.
It was like me last week. Don't worry. I totally understand. But yes,
don't worry. We got you, bro.
We just went through the first part of this Cody news, just addressing everything. Yes, this is just everything with Cody and AEW that we've covered so far. Yeah. We haven't covered the potential WWE return part. So we only covered the AEW Cody part. So what was your initial reaction to the news, Top Guy JJ?
I guess a little shocked at first, honestly, because, you know, it's literally not even been 3 years. So you would think that they would at least do 3 years together. They haven't even done yet. So that it kind of shows like some commitment issues here, because he couldn't stick with fucking Impact. He couldn't stick with ROH. Now he can't stay with AEW. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, sir? Like, you can't commit yourself anywhere. Like, you had the best possible platform you could have with AEW. You had TV promotion. You was getting hella bank. You were one of the biggest stars of this company. What went wrong? The fact that you can never become an AEW champion. The fact that politics probably took over. I mean, you're part of politics. He's a part of the politics. So it's just maybe have a little bit of self-reflection here, sir. Because, you know, when you go to where you're going to go, grass ain't greener on the other side, sir. It's really not. You know, you'll probably get a great push for 4 to 5 months, and then you are going to Obscurityville, where everybody goes in this damn company, if you're not Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar. Like, this is what's going to happen to you, sir. So you got about 4 to 5 months of it. You are going to be awesome. Come Survivor Series, you are going to be in the mid-card, sir. At the rest of the, you're never ever in your life is going to hold.
Yes, he'll be that. Yes. Running around after that shit. Yes.
Initially, but it's obviously he wants to do his best for him, his wife, and, you know, his family. If he could, but the Cody feeling to me is that he wants to be done with professional wrestling by the age of 40. If he wants to be done with that, one big contract from WWE would do that. One big contract.
I don't feel, though. I don't know.
But he has goals. So obviously he has this renegade mindset because of what happened to him in the WWE. The fact that, you know, he knew what he was, that they wouldn't let him display, and then he finally got that chance to display it, and he proved everyone wrong. And once he goes and makes all this money at AEW, though, you ain't leaving AEW to make less money. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. So you ain't leaving there to make less. So he gonna be making a whole lot more money, and then obviously they're gonna be paying his wife, because he ain't going to no company without his wife. So that's 2 incomes that you're providing immediately. Like,
they're giving it back to them,
She's gonna have to have an on-screen role. She's gonna have to potentially be an in-spot wrestler at times. She's gonna have to be some form of importance.
We'll get into that. I wouldn't. I
know we don't know she can't wrestle for shit, but the fact that.
We'll get into that. It's not very much bad news. It's not good news as far as that goes. But do you guys believe the whole
Black History Month?
Yeah, but I just don't think at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Cody Rhodes wants to be wrestling beyond 40 years old. I think he wants to be doing, whether it's form of acting, whether it's TV, whether it's marketing, whether it's putting himself out there, not being physical because he probably wants to have more kids with Brandy and wants to be there for them. Obviously, he doesn't want to have that same feeling he had with his dad. So he's going to try to be completely different. And I think being retired by 40 with a lot of money, if he makes $15, $20, $25 million, he don't need to wrestle no more. He can start venturing into other things. He can invest his money into other shit. He's a smart dude, and you can clearly see that over the last 4 years. He is a smart man, so he's going to be all right.
Yeah, definitely agree there.
Maybe he's following his dad. Like his dad flip flopped around a lot until he finally like settled down and was like behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
No, what Top Guy JJ said is 100% right. Cody has in fact said on Rose to the Top that he plans to retire by age of 40. So I said like this whole move as far as on the Cody side, it makes a lot of sense. It's just the whole details that I noted in the last part is so Krssi Love, should Tony Khan had invoked the option year for Cody Rhodes?
Maybe I don't know.
You don't know? That is also another question I have. Do you believe like the booking and the reaction to Cody Rhodes had anything to do with Tony Khan making the decision not to invoke the option? Because when this news first broke and me and Romeo talked about it on the Romeo Report number 15, we really talked about it like it was Cody's decision to make. But that little note from Dave Meltzer that Tony Khan couldn't invoke the option here, it's what you said earlier, Krssi Love. There's a lot more to this that we don't even know. Like even with all that I've broke down so far, there's a lot more to this that we don't know. And also should be noted that both sides, Dave Meltzer noted that both sides have signed an agreement, a non-disclosure agreement. So you won't be hearing Cody spill the tea on it while he's in. If he goes to WWE or even outside of AEW, and you won't hear Tony Khan say anything about it. So it's like basically what happened is
like bitches, like
the dramaless breakup.
Like women. It's like this is the Real Housewives of Wrestling. Like get this shit together.
No, this is a smart move on Tony Khan's part because you make a guy who was an EVP in your company sign a non-disclosure if he's going to your number one competitor. Because he's the guy that can tell the competitor, this is what they're doing, this is what they're doing, this is what he knows all the skeletons that are in the closet. So on Tony Khan and AEW's part, I get it. I do get your opinion of like being a fan and wanting to know more, but Tony Khan, he's 100% in the right here.
Absolutely. I completely agree. But here's the deal also is that Tony not signing Cody Rhodes back to a very lucrative offer also frees up potentially a lot of money for all these motherfuckers he's going to have to resign in a year or two. Yeah. Because that motherfucking roster is ridiculous right now. Yeah. Like, how you going to be able to pay these motherfuckers working 2 days a week, one night a week, essentially, maybe two if there's a pay-per-view. Like, they got to be able to save some money at some point because if they ain't doing house shows, if they only doing Rampage and Dynamite on the same night and doing a pay-per-view, every 3-4 months, that ain't enough money to pay all these wrestlers. I don't give a fuck what you're bringing into the building because they're bringing in 8, 9, 10,000 people a night. Like when they go to these shows, that's not enough to pay that roster. That roster is insane.
It all depends on next year, or I think it's either next year or 2024 when they sign their new deal with TNT. If they get more money, then we will see they have the potential to be able to resign someone like Cody Rhodes. The whole thing, it came to, like I said, a financial dispute that Cody wanted to be paid on the same level as Punk because you just gave Punk over $1 million. You probably gave Bryan Danielson close to $1 million. You probably gave Adam Cole close to $1 million, and Cody wanted to do basically the Kevin Nash Scott Hall. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, when they signed with WCW, they became the highest paid wrestlers there. But they also signed a clause that said if you re-up and make anyone as high as the highest paid performer for you, then we get to renegotiate our deal to get close to that number or higher than that number, basically.
Okay, so well, Cody, say that part, friend. So yeah, that was, he had no choice. Like, I have to go. Like, you're not going to give me what I know I'm worth.
Yeah, but it's probably the amount of money. It's probably the amount of money that man. But the thing is, the amount of money that man wants is probably going to be way too much because also you got to think about Brandy's compensation. They come as a pair. They come as a pair. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Well, we will get to.
True,
they're not gonna come as a pair if Cody's making the move that we're talking about here. But one final question before we wrap things up. Yes, that's what Brandy's gonna say in WWE. You're big time Bex. Well, I'm big time bitch. Oh,
please don't.
One last question for both of y'all, real quick. Krssi Love, do you believe Cody Rhodes will return to AEW? I'm not saying now. I'm not saying in a month. I'm not saying in a few weeks. I'm not saying in a few years. I'm just saying in general. Do you think Cody Rhodes will return to AEW?
For sure, absolutely.
Top guy JJ?
He has to.
Yeah, I say when he retires, he will retire as an AEW wrestler.
That is fair. And the timeline, like we said, he wants to retire at 40. If he goes to WWE, he's 36. If he goes to WWE, he has to sign a 3 or 5 year deal. He signs a 3-year deal. He's 39. Go back to AEW for a 1 year run to retire. Romeo?
Yeah.
Romeo.
Everybody in the chat, there's 26 of you watching. Don't be shy. Vote in the poll. Do you think this is a work? There's only 9 votes. Just vote.
Vote in the live chat,
and
guys.
So far, 33% of you are saying yes.
33% is saying yes? Wow.
Let's keep voting, guys.
All right, let's see. We got a couple of comments to highlight here. We got Nick Jackson who says, I get that Cody felt hurt about not being able to be booking anymore, but I highly doubt that WWE would allow him that privilege. Good point. We also got to be a we also got EBB says Cody took the chandelier from the Dynamite set with him too. Lovely. I love it. Wait, we got CM with an inquiry here. Wait, he makes candles? Where can I order?
Well,
no, I don't make. I wish I had that talent. I don't make these things. These things are from my amazing company, but no, I don't make these at all. I don't. No, this is just a lot of coin right here.
Yeah, you can start a side hustle, get to sell those candles, man. The Mixag Show Blue says, cash rules everything around me, cream. But yeah, I also believe Cody is preparing his farewell tour. So yeah, he wants to make good and redeem himself for what he did before in WWE. He wants to make it better. So we got Maggie here with us. What's up, Maggie? She was great in the live chat on Degrassi Dudes earlier. She says, what the fuck? 30% thinks it's a work. It's definitely not a work. Thank you, EBB. Like Nick Jackson, it's not a work. Yes, like ladies and gentlemen, this is not a work. He may resign with AEW, but as of right now, he's left the company. They had a falling out over the weekend. Lawyers came in on Monday to do the NDAs, the agreements. Exactly. So it's a divorce. Your mom and dad might get back together, but it's a divorce now. You gotta move. You gotta pack your thing, and you gotta stay with daddy on the weekends.
Legal separation. It's not divorced yet because he might go back. Separation. They're separated right now. That's the first part of the paperwork.
These are the brains of wrestling fans, bro. Like there's no story that's real. Nothing's real. Everything is in our imagination.
What's up, Alan Weinstein? Romeo.
I wanted to add that Tony Khan loses the trust of his locker room if this doesn't work.
Exactly. That's a great point. Like I said in that whole first part of this whole story, because it's just the first part, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a whole nother part that and shout outs to Maggie. Check out her podcast, Coexisting with Rob and Maggie. She said in a few minutes, I'm looking to the camera on a podcast with Rob and say, it's not a work, guys. Everyone do it. It's not a work. It's not a work.
It's really not.
Can you read the lips?
I don't even know why this is a subject. I really don't know why this is a subject.
Right.
I don't know why this is a subject. I really don't. Why is this a subject?
We got Alan Weinstein giving me the nice little segue here. He says it's not a work, but it's a bad decision. Fool Cody once, shame on WWE. Fool Cody twice, shame on Cody. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that part of the story, and then we can to address it. Numerous sources noted that Cody Rhodes and WWE officials have been in talks for his return. According to WrestleVotes on Twitter on Tuesday, a source fully anticipates WWE and Cody Rhodes to come to an agreement on a deal. Sports Illustrated noted that Brandi Rhodes will not be joining Cody in WWE, but will continue to pursue an in-ring return. Wade Keller of PW Torch, he had a lot to say on his audio podcast, talking about, he reported that Vince McMahon apparently has huge plans for WrestleMania push for Cody, but as it addressed to Brandi, he did note that everyone that he talked to, he noted that he was on the phone for hours, and the impression that he got is that no one backstage liked Brandi Rhodes, that she was very disliked backstage. This was vehemently denied by Nyla Rhodes, Aubrey Edwards, Amanda Huber, Red Velvet, among others, saying otherwise, as well as WrestleVotes, who came out with a tweet after saying that the people that they spoke to said that Brandi Rhodes was very liked, as well as Fightful Select putting a report saying that it was really a mix of people that said they didn't like her or had falling out with her and did like her. Andrew Zarian, as far as the Cody and WWE, he noted on the We're Live Pal podcast that WWE was very happy about Cody leaving AEW and coming to WWE. Justin Barrazo of Sports Illustrated also noted that Rhodes could be filming segments at the WWE Performance Center as soon as this weekend, February 19th and 20th. Barrazo also notes that Cody Rhodes' departure could pull a major swerve by re-signing with WWE, but it is extremely unlikely. Speaking on Wrestling Observer's We're Live Pal, Andrew Zarian discussed what he heard from those backstage in WWE, and he said, and I quote, "There's no contract signed. I know that. There's nothing signed as of 3 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, but it looks like he may be heading over there." Because the WWE guys were waving their WWE flag in victory with this. I was very shocked at the reaction this was getting from that side. Normally, I've been covering wrestling for 11 years, been doing it on The Observer for a year now. I've never seen a celebration of this sort with someone that hasn't signed yet. So they see this as a major win. I was told multiple times that the optics wise, this looks bad for AEW and this looks great for WWE, especially with the fact that not only was he an on-air top talent, he's an EVP, he's one of the founders, conceptualized the whole idea. So this is a mega story. This is huge. According to Fightful Select, the prevailing belief in the WWE locker room is that Cody Rhodes fell out of power in AEW and wanted a significant raise. But it's important to note that neither AEW officials or Rhodes have mentioned that yet. There was excitement and shock among those that Fightful heard from, including several top stars in the company ready to welcome Cody back with open arms. One top name said that they think it will be great for fans and considers it the most interesting thing in the company in a very long time. Another pointed out that a lot of people on the WWE roster came up with Cody and spent a lot of time with him and are excited of the idea of him returning. No members of the WWE roster have heard explicitly from WWE that he's reached a deal as of yet. And like I noted before, don't expect Cody Rhodes to spill the tea. Meltzer noted, "I've been in contact with Cody. You, Brian Alvarez, have too. And this is like the basic situation that we haven't talked about this, because I think that Tony and Cody pretty much had an agreement that aside from aside from their original statements, that's the only public stuff that they're going to say on the matter." Woo! Top guy JJ.
You need another drink. Drink some water, friends. That's a lot.
Top guy JJ, do you expect Cody Rhodes to return to WWE?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is unfortunately like a damn near foregone conclusion, because you're not leaving AEW for anything else. You're really not. You're not making no pit stops in the indies. I know you little fanboys want that, but this ain't happening. Cody's bigger than that now. Cody is a legit star now. He's a star. He's not going to show up in GCW. He's not going to show up in MLW. He's not going to show up in Impact Wrestling. He's not going to show up when ROH decides they want to make a revival, whatever the fuck that is.
Yep.
There's only one landing spot for him that makes any sense for this breakup to make any sense. That is, unfortunately, the WWE. It's unfortunate. Yes, it's unfortunate. We don't want this to happen. People are going to be happy when it happens. But do you want this to happen in reality? No. because this is going to end up being a corny return to me. It's because he's not going to be able to shed any light of what happened. Non-disclosure. You can't do it. You could cut these halfway promos that would probably hint at it a little bit, but there's not really a lot of steam in going back to the brand other than money. Like, I really like, there's a couple of good matchups, yes, he'll have, and there's a couple of good ones, yes. But in long term, this isn't really, something happened between Tony and Cody that we will just never know, because this relationship was too good a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers were in sync with everything. Now all of a sudden they can't stay in the same company together. Something happened there that we will never know. Something really happened there that we'll never find out. But I mean, it's gonna be cool to see when Cody comes back to the E for a cup of tea for a few minutes, but it's gonna die out real quick. And that's really unfortunate. But I just hope Cody gets all the money that he deserves, because
I was gonna ask, is he gonna be that character? Not.
He needs to get paid. Y'all better stop this shit.
Miss
Wait, who the
Krssi-
fuck is it? Wait, pause. Who the fuck is this person that's in our chat right now? Can y'all this person right here? Can y'all remove him?
Don't worry about that.
No, like that shit just triggered me. I'm about to like.
All right, we got it. Don't worry. Relax. But yes, Miss Krssi Love, dude, what do you think? Do you think that Cody returns to WWE, and what do you think the reaction will be from the fans?
He's gonna get a pop. He's gonna get a pop. It's just. It's unfortunate that he's going to go in, like JJ said, he wants to finish out in the next 4 years. So, leave this place. He's not going to go to New Japan. Like, he's done all these things. I'm going to go back where I left, do something there real quick, and then come back home. Just making a pit stop. We're going to go on, So, what character he'll be? Will he be the Nightmare? I don't know. If it's not nothing that Vince, came up with. So that's where the contracts come in, to play. Like, who is Cody going to be? What character is he going to be? Who is he going to be, have, conflicts with? Who is he going to match up with is the question that I want to know. He'll get a pop regardless. They're going to be surprised.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't tell us when don't do WWE. Don't tell us that he's coming. Don't do it. Because
They
don't
totally
do an
are.
Oscar to us, bro. Don't do an Oscar to us. Don't do an Oscar to us.
Don't do that.
Please.
Don't do it. It's done. Like, you. They'll probably tell us anyway. Never mind.
Like, that's why I'm like, they totally are. Y'all jinxed it. Y'all jinxed it already.
Dude, if they learned anything, do they not learn from the pop that John Cena got when he made an unannounced return, even though everyone knew he was coming back? They didn't announce it. But they didn't make the announcement. Let us get the unexpected. He shows up at Chamber. You don't say a fucking word to us.
No, don't show up at Chamber.
I'm just being hypothetical. I'm being very hypothetical here. Clearly,
you don't know how the American Nightmare is going to be reacted to by the Saudi Arabia crowd.
He ain't showing up. No, he's going to be on American soil, obviously. But it's what is there a pay-per-view before WrestleMania? Are they running that bullshit again?
No, I love that meme. February 69.
February 69. Who had the time to make this?
He's
laugh my ass off. He's not going to be returning live on Peacock Network.
Absolutely not.
Krssi Love, who do you think WWE will choose to face Cody at WrestleMania 38 if he returns immediately?
Oh my God! Wow. McIntyre? I don't know. Like, we already know Roman and Brock are already on the corner already. Maybe it's going to be McIntyre. I don't know, because I don't see anybody from Raw. Nope, never mind. Maybe it's going to be Kevin Owens.
Well, we'll get to who Kevin Owens is said to be versing right now, but before we get to that, Top Guy JJ, what are some of the dream matches you do want to see from Cody and WWE?
Not dream matches per se, but I want to see the promo clash between Cody Rhodes and The Miz. Like, I want to see those two clash with each other.
Yeah, we can't get they're like the king and queen of mixed tag. We can't get
they're literally kind of like mirror images of each other in some senses. the copycat shit talking that they're gonna have to each other
Like
would
my
be
show was
fucking
lasting
magical.
yours, like shit. Like I have 2 babies, you have 1. Like like I've been like on the company for like ever. They've been on my back. I've carried this for so long. Oh yeah, they would have a great promo. That'd be good.
Yeah. So to wrap this up,
for matchups, I do want to see a pairing of him and Seth Rollins. I want to see him and Seth Rollins go at it.
That's who I think they're going to have him verse at WrestleMania 38 because everybody else kind of already has their partner heading into the show except for Seth. He's like the biggest star possible. And just look at their characters, their on-screen character. Cody wants to be the white meat hero babyface, while Seth Rollins is this Joker type heel character. So it just makes sense. And when you think about them, outside the company.
And how about you circle it all back? For a one-time rivalry with Randy Orton.
Oh yeah.
Circle that shit. Circle the motherfucking wagons, bro.
But yeah, I just think that Rhodes and Rollins make sense. The one thing I disagree with you, Top Guy JJ, I'm more excited about Cody Rhodes in WWE than I was for anything of him in AEW. Really, the only thing I wanted to see from him in AEW is the one thing he wasn't going to do, turn heel.
Yeah.
So I feel like this fits if you're just looking at Cody Rhodes as a story, this fits Cody Rhodes. This is a Cody Rhodes type of move.
Oh, absolutely. I just feel like the mixed bag reaction didn't play itself all the way through because Cody felt like he was a magician at getting the crowd to yell, "Shut the fuck up." And then all of a sudden cheer for him 35 seconds later. I missed that element. Like, obviously, we always joked on the American hero that saved racism and, he's the American dream. Like, there's a lot of shit that he put his foot in his own mouth with. But it's what is he going to do when he goes over there? Like, what is he going to do when he hits?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what everyone wants. Yeah.
I'm just curious. It's like, what's going to...
Whoever made that is like...
You know what? The fact that he coached Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, I want to see what the fuck this man does.
You think of the 3 greatest civil rights icons of all time. You think of those 3 men, ladies and gentlemen. Those 3 men. A couple of comments to highlight here before we wrap things up with Cody. You got to do Raw for Cody Rhodes. I disagree with that. I think that Seth Rollins is the guy to verse him, like Will Chisholm, as well as Blue Believe as well. But I don't think Raw is the show for him because Raw's got Seth Rollins, got Kevin Owens, got Bobby Lashley, got
SmackDown
has nothing.
SmackDown has Roman Reigns.
They have Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is going to be versing Happy Corbin at WrestleMania. That's your number 2 guy.
That's it.
And even when you look at Cody, I think if Cody has a say or they ask him what brand you want to go on, I want to be on SmackDown because on Raw, I could be anywhere from 1 to 8. At the very least on SmackDown, I'm going to be the number 2 guy if you give me a push.
Easy.
On spot. On site, he's number 2.
That's why I said Drew. I said Drew
I was going to say, plus being on SmackDown, Cody wants to be a TV star. It's going to be on Fox. It's a lot better than USA.
Also true. You got to be seen by more people than you were in AEW.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a slam dunk for SmackDown.
Let's review you on SmackDown, friend. Let's go. Romeo and I will
and we'll just send our while we're talking about SmackDown real quick, I just want to send my condolences to the career of Big E because clearly, he's a member of the New Day again, and it's over for all of that.
Not even a member. They just call them Kofi and Big E. They don't even
Kofi and Big E.
Negro Buck says put him against Seth Rollins at Mania and then moved him to SmackDown after to be a new challenger for Roman. Agree with that. Miz will test that NDA in his promo. Laughed my ass off. Great comment. Frantic World following up from our Romeo report where we came up with the coin phrase. Got to hand it to Romeo. The Codyverse of Madness.
Yeah, that was pretty clever. Clever.
We have a ripple effect in the Codyverse of Madness. And EBB kind of following up what we said, the reason why SmackDown has only Roman Reigns is because WWE want to make all the focus be on him and him only. I feel like he'd be overshadowed. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't, because
No,
you
he
need
wouldn't.
something else on that show. Like if
don't
he's getting a push, it helps out everybody else. If you give him a push and he's feuding with someone like Sheamus, it will matter because he's getting a push and he's versing a former champion. That will matter more than Sheamus versus Ricochet for the 1000th time.
Yeah.
And then one final comment to highlight
on SmackDown.
Yeah. So that's SP's point is perfect because SmackDown's roster is fucking thin as fuck, bro.
But they got
like,
guys that can work.
Like
you just have to get those guys in the ring with a star, and if they present Cody as a star on his return, that's what he will be. Absolutely. And it will help out the Ricochets, the Cesaros, the Sheamuses. Those are the guys he will have to beat through before he eventually gets to Roman for the championship. Rollin Curlis, thank you so much, good brother. You've been supporting the channel huge with these super chat donations, and we always appreciate that so much, brother. He says, do you remember Cody Rhodes resurrecting the old generation Intercontinental belt? Can you imagine Cody winning a WWE world title and resurrecting the big gold WCW belt or the winged eagle belt? I like that fantasy booking. I would be, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love the winged eagle title. So if Cody wins the WWE title and gets rid of that huge freaking logo on leather, I want that.
Okay, first we appreciate the super chat, but this might have to be one of the worst takes of it.
What?
No, don't think of it as
Fancy for sure.
Talking about?
Put on WWE 2K22 that comes out in March. It hits different supposedly. It supposedly hits different. We really want to see that big gold belt again?
Yes,
really
I'd rather the big gold belt than a big ass logo.
That shit was the epitome of irrelevancy the entire time it was in WWE. That was secondary title all the time.
That's not we're not talking about how it was treated. We're talking about how the title looks, and it looks much better than the trash world titles we have right now.
Absolutely. These titles are garbage.
Look at that. That's a logo on leather. That's all it is.
Pure garbage.
It's not even a championship belt. The 24/7 title is more of a championship belt.
If you give me the winged eagle title, that's something different. That's still within the company. That is not that WCW shit that was king of irrelevancy the entire time it was there. If you see that beautiful winged eagle belt or the beautiful belt that Stone Cold had, either one, awesome. Don't get that fucking gold belt bullshit.
Hating that big gold belt. You might have to make another poll, Romeo.
Oh, absolutely, because
big gold belt, like
they treated that title like garbage. They treated the title like garbage.
I think that you're just sticking that in your head and you're not thinking about all the times it was treated good outside of the company, and when it was, and even in the company, when Triple H was the world champion, when Batista was the world champion, when Edge was the world champion, it was an important title in WWE. Romeo,
yeah,
sure.
54% of you want to see Cody on SmackDown. 46% want to see him on Raw.
Wow, that's a close ass poll.
Not so many people want to see him on Raw. Maybe because Raw needs a jolt of energy.
Because of how much news we got, we might be setting a record for the amount of polls we're gonna do. Because I think we need a poll on the big gold belt now. But let's get into someone who has held a lot of championships and made a lot of news this week. WWE making overtures to bring back Stone Cold Steve Austin for an in-ring return at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas. In a shocking move, WWE Backstage Chatter suggests that WWE is going to attempt to get Stone Cold Steve Austin for a match at WrestleMania 38. Fightful has learned that WWE has made a significant overture towards one of the biggest draws in WWE history, Stone Cold Steve Austin, for an in-ring return at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas. Austin has not wrestled in 19 years, with his last match taking place at WrestleMania 19. Since then, many WWE superstars have tried to conjure Austin out of retirement, but it hasn't happened as of yet. Fightful reached out to WWE in an official capacity, but haven't been given any concrete information. Those that Fightful acts within WWE have heard a range of responses from being coy to saying they assume it will happen. They were told that at the very least, Austin is expected for a physical role. According to PW Insider's latest report, WWE reached out to Austin at the end of December, beginning of January, to gauge his interest in wrestling or even just making an appearance at the show. The hope is that an Austin match in Texas would massively help boost ticket sales. WWE would need to sell around 200,000 seats to sell out both nights of the two-night WrestleMania. The reported opponent for this match is none other than Kevin Owens. And according to Dave Meltzer, many within WWE are under the impression the match is going ahead.
Stunner versus Stunner? Oh, God.
Meltzer quoted saying, the impression I have is that the match is on. I know that backstage at WWE all day, that's all I kept hearing about. Not all I kept hearing about, but I heard it early in the day and then kept checking around, and more people were saying they heard the same thing. I don't know if it's a done deal, but people were talking like it was. Like I said, I was not told it's a done deal, but people were under the assumption that it was, and that promo clearly tells you that they are booking with the idea that it is happening. The match with Kevin Owens may be all but confirmed, but per Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the match is currently on the card for WrestleMania. Meltzer said, there's really nothing new. Austin versus Owens is on the card. I don't know which night he's going to wrestle, but that is the plan. And that pretty much started the feud on Raw. He's referring to Kevin Owens cutting an anti-Texas promo, which sets up Austin to come in and face him at WrestleMania. Miss Krssi Love, do you think it is wise for WWE to bring back Stone Cold Steve Austin for WrestleMania?
They want people to be excited for WrestleMania because we're not. So that's why they bring Stone Cold. Bring this man from his almost 20-year retirement and bring this man to Texas where he lives. So he doesn't even have to travel very far because he's going to be in this, he lives there. So yeah, let's call Stone Cold. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just doing nothing. Just got another Stone Cold, sessions that are going to drop on Peacock again soon, whatever. You want to wrestle on WrestleMania? Maybe night number 1 per se? Nah, let me think about it. Yeah, I got shit else to damn do. Sure. How much money you going to give me? Ugh, I'm over it. So Stunner versus Stunner. Great. Book it.
You guys' lack of excitement towards these news is hilarious to me. Tough Guy JJ, does the president of Austin make you more likely to get a ticket for WrestleMania 38?
Absolutely not.
You're fine there. No.
There's nothing. I heard about this news and I was just okay. Like this in-ring return for one night, and we'll probably never see him again for another 5-6 years. That's great. Yay.
Meltzer did note this week that it's not a one-time run. They think that he is coming back for more than Edge type schedule.
If he comes back with a schedule, it might be the catapult to something. But this is why Austin decided to want to leave in the first place, because they had nothing for him. They had nothing for him. Like they struggled after The Rock to give him anything of relevance besides Triple H. Like they struggled to give Austin anything of relevance that he actually gave a fuck about. Like, yeah, you got Booker T in the supermarket. Yeah, you get the stories with him and Eddie Guerrero that never really manifested and took place.
Wow. Yep. Sad.
But what happened?
Sad.
What of relevance really? Like, Stone Cold basically was the fact that he never had that run with Shawn Michaels, the fact that every single time he feuded with The Undertaker was rather lackluster, except the sacrifice of Stephanie McMahon. What are we talking about here? Like, why? Like, I'm sorry. I guess if you're excited for Stone Cold,
what do you think about it? You always ask us the question. What do you think about it?
Oh, hell yeah! But
how do you feel, sir? Are you excited? Are you going to go to WrestleMania if they let you go?
Nah, my wife will never let me go. But
okay.
Does this make me more likely? First time in 20 years versus someone that I really love in Kevin Owens. I may think about it. If I'm in,
we're gonna watch it on Peacock regardless.
If I'm in Dallas, I may think about getting a ticket to WrestleMania, whichever night Austin's on. I don't know about both nights, but whatever night Austin's on, that's the night I would prefer to go to. Hopefully, it's on the same night as Ronda. But yes, the question about
you know that ain't happening. You know Stone Cold and Roman ain't on the same night. You already know that's not happening.
No, I think he is going to be on the same night as Roman. I don't think he's going to be on the same night as Ronda.
I
think the smart move is to put Austin on the second night because the second night is going to be harder to sell than the first night.
Yeah.
But my quick question to wrap things up on this Austin news is: Kevin Owens the right opponent for Austin if he does return at WrestleMania? Krssi?
Yeah, because who else? Okay, you're doing Stunner versus Stunner. Great. Who can do the best Stunner? I mean, who else could he go against? We already got Drew is going with Happy Corbin. There's no need for him to be feuding with Stone Cold. Drew can't put a knife in Stone Cold's face. Like, yeah, no. So is someone have Raw? Someone needs. Oh, pause. Sorry. Something has to happen on the Raw side of things. So you have to have. Seth is already probably going to feud with Cody. We already have to have that down. Bobby. Who will be with Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby doesn't have an obvious opponent for WrestleMania right now.
Right. That means he probably not even gonna get his show. And then there goes. He won't even have the championship for that part. So yeah, nothing for him, I guess.
Yes, I see. Top guy JJ had to switch to the phone there.
Off, bro. That last I missed like Chrissy's entire take. That shit pissed me off.
It's all right, friend. It's okay. Don't worry, boo.
All right, Romeo.
Like SP from last week. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We understand. We've all have it.
Exactly. You see, I'm not making fun of him. Romeo.
Can I comment on the Stone Cold thing?
Go ahead, friend.
I do think the Austin KO promos could be fun.
Yes.
What?
At WrestleMania, when they're across from each other in the ring, and Stone Cold is in those, black boots, black trunks, black knee braces, and the bell rings, and the crowd goes absolutely apeshit. Are you not going to get a little excited? A little bit? A little nostalgic?
But I will just tell you, I don't expect a 5-star match. Expect a 5-minute match.
Oh, I was going to say at least 10 to 12. Dag, friend. Not even that. That's
dude's coming back for the first time in what 20 years? No, you don't put him in there for 10 minutes. That's exposing him. You walk and brawl. He beats him up around the ringside area, puts him in the ring, Luthes press, fist and fire, your elbow drop, boom, Stone Cold Stunner, boom, 1, 2, 3. Drink some beers.
80% of you want to see Stone Cold return. 80% of you.
80% say what?
Want to see Stone Cold return.
There we go.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's awesome. If you're excited, that's
you know why?
great.
It's for the merch. They want to buy good merch from him.
If you're
that's
excited,
the only
that's great.
thing.
I just want to get a new Austin 316 shirt.
Exactly.
And the big gold belt pull, that was 74% yes.
There we go. Well, Romeo, you can actually stick around because I think we are losing Miss Krssi Love from the show. She has to part away. She has a meeting. She's a busy woman, but of course she will be back with us next Saturday when we're back in our regular time slot, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Tru Heel Heat 164. Miss Krssi Love, tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, guys, so you can follow me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. It's KrssiLove_1 or just Krssi Love. I do some roundtables, some watch-alongs, and you can watch Romeo, myself, and Josh. We do SmackDown review for the Teddy Turnbuckle YouTube channel. And you can watch me every week with my good brothers here, as you are watching right now for Tru Heel Heat. Fun things are coming. Can't wait to see you all. Love you. Bye, guys. Sorry, I gotta go.
No worries. We will get your predictions at a later date.
Yes, I'll give them to you.
Later, Krssi.
Bye, guys.
Later, let's see a couple of your comments here. Thank you so much, guys, for being so active in the live chat. We try our best to highlight as many comments as we can, but of course, your super chat donations are always appreciated. Helps the channel grow, helps us to do more live streams like this. So that is the best way to show your support for this live stream. We got Rowling Curtis, who says the best looking belt in all of WWE right now is easily Damian Priest's United States Championship belt. Do y'all agree?
I love that belt.
I do love the Dipset.
WWE, yeah, that's kind of non-debatable, honestly.
Dipset
Championship.
Dipset, absolutely. Yuma Boy Blue says, damn, I'm late. Sup, y'all? What's going on, Blue? Great to see you.
What up, homie?
Chase Oliver says, Owens is the best opponent, in my opinion. Works safe and can carry the promos when Austin isn't there. That's the big one. That's the big one. I do agree. JCS Foot Rub. Stunner. Oh, hell yeah. He's excited.
He's hyped.
He's hyped. He's hyped up. So love to see it. We got also our boy DJ Eric, who says, "You will. This is awesome." Chant from the Dallas crowd before Austin and KO even touch each other. So
how big effect do you think that would have on the ratings?
I think it would be a boost for the ratings, especially. They're gonna have a big boost going back on USA Network this coming week. But the just hearing more and them building to Austin and Austin's arrival on TV will be a boost in the ratings for sure.
You know, it'd be fun too. That'd be the first time in Austin's career that he would have a "This is awesome" chant during one of his matches, because those chants didn't start at that time.
Yeah, or only on the independent scene, really.
Yeah.
But let's get into what we missed, fellas. AEW Dynamite this week did its lowest viewership on TBS since the move, lowest since December, 869,000 viewers for what I thought was a tremendous show. The show was highlighted by the main event with Sammy Guevara defeating Darby Allin in an excellent TNT Championship matchup. Thanks to Andrade interfering with a tablet to Darby's head. Yeah, CM Punk made his rematch with MJF for AEW Revolution in a dog collar match after a splendid promo, even bringing out the receipt of the old picture with him and Max. We got Bryan Danielson beat Lee Moriarty in an absolute technical wrestling clinic. Post-match, Danielson called out Jon Moxley for his answer to his partnership request, but Mox brought up never beating Danielson and not being able to stand side by side with someone unless he bleeds with them first. Great promo by Moxley as usual. Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole had a very good promo exchange, ending with Cole and Red Dragon jumping Page until security and the Dark Order made the save. Wardlow beat Max Caster to advance to the Face of the Revolution ladder match, and Thunder Rosa defeated Mercedes Martinez in a no DQ match after a Fire Thunder driver on a stack of chairs. Top Guy JJ, what did you think about AEW Dynamite this week, and what was the highlight of the show for you?
The highlight was, to me, I thoroughly enjoyed the promo exchange between Bryan Danielson and Moxley. I love that. If we gonna fight together, we gonna bleed together as well, because we gotta have this initiation phase before we become allies. I need to see if you tough enough to ride with me, and if you not, then you go find yourself another little bitch to run with, because I ain't no bitch.
Deuces.
For real. And then the CM Punk and MJF, the CM Punk basically, CM Punk telling MJF off basically is that was a pretty cool one. I fucking love my favorite moment of the night was Thunder Rosa's tribute to Kill Bill. Like, oh my god.
No. Kill Britt.
Okay. Kill Britt.
He's trying to get that over. I like it.
I was like, oh shit, she went there tonight. I loved it. But that match was fucking awesome. I mean, it's weird that was one of their lowest rated shows, because that was a damn good Dynamite. Like, that was better than probably some of the shits that got a milli.
For real. People didn't want to see Sammy Darby. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but that got announced like late in the week too. So to be fair, yeah, I wish they would have promoted that like last week. But
it's good to see Adam Cole in an important storyline too. It's really good to see Adam Cole finally getting something important. So I was just bitching about that last week. I was like, what the fuck is Adam Cole's relevance? And
I
all of a
love the
sudden,
other
boom,
Adam line. I love the other Adam line.
the
That was a
other
great.
Adam.
They were trading good lines back and forth. I wouldn't have ended the segment with Hangman Page on his back, being that he is the world champion. But other than that, that was a good segment. Thank you so much, Alan Weinstein, always helping out our channel. He's our biggest supporter. He's our Jew lawyer. He says for the war chest. And then EBB supporting us as per usual, saying remember the teases of Punk versus Stone Cold back in 2013. If there was ever a time for him to return, it was that. Their back and forth was great. I agree 100% there. I really wanted to see Stone Cold versus CM Punk.
Oh yeah, that tease. Oh, that tease when 2K13 was coming out, when CM Punk was on the cover, and they had that little back and forth segue. Yeah, that would have been fun. That would have been fun.
That's the last all-time great mode in a WWE game. That Attitude Era mode. Oh my god, I remember when that first came out. That was great, and the promotion with Punk and Austin really drove it home. But it seems like everyone enjoyed Dynamite, but unfortunately, it didn't do well in the ratings. I think the quality of this week will help out next week for sure. But if you don't like spoilers and you want to watch tonight's Friday Night in Wrestling, of course, you can pause this, wait about 2 minutes, and Romeo's popping out already, and he's doing the la 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 la, because the spoiler alert warning is in effect, as we're going to talk real quick for anyone who wants to watch this on Saturday morning about WWE SmackDown, as they're going to have Sami Zayn defeat Shinsuke Nakamura to win the Intercontinental Championship. A stipulation was also added to Elimination Chamber 2022, where Ronda Rousey will have one arm tied behind her back in her tag match with Naomi against Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. AEW Rampage got Switchblade Jay White defeating Trent Beretta, and Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Dante Martin to advance to the Face of the Revolution ladder match. So big, beefy men in that damn ladder match with Wardlow and Keith Lee. And spoiler alert is over. You can press the play now. All right. WWE NXT 2.0 Vengeance Day was this week. Romeo was happy about that. They did 525,000 viewers this week, preempted on Sci-Fi Network. Braun Breaker defeated Santos Escobar to retain the NXT Championship in a very good main event, even after interference from Dolph Ziggler. Carmelo Hayes beat Cameron Grimes to retain the North American Championship in an awesome encounter. The Creed brothers defeated MSK to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in a great tag team matchup. Toxic Attraction beat Indy Artwell and Persia Parada to retain the NXT Women's Tag Team titles, and Pete Dunne defeated Tony D'Angelo to win the weaponized steel cage match. Romeo, you watched it live right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. What was the biggest highlight from Vengeance Day?
It's just a solid in-ring work for most of the matches. I mean, they really delivered in-ring quality. And if you're one of those people who hates on NXT 2.0, you can't really hate on this show. Not in my opinion.
I think Top Guy JJ can.
I can't hate on it because I ain't watch it. I don't watch. If you're gonna ask me any questions about WWE right now, I cannot answer them.
He has sworn off WWE. He's an honest man.
They couldn't find Sci-Fi.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I didn't want to find Sci-Fi. It is clearly on my stream box. It is there.
I really enjoyed Carmelo Hayes versus Cameron Grimes. I felt like they had really good chemistry with each other. A lot of great sequences, like the Poison Rana by Cameron Grimes, as well as the finish there. Creed Brothers and MSK, that was the match that exceeded my expectations, because I've been really liking the Creed Brothers, and I think they're kind of like one of the most over acts as far as like what they've done as far as their push and how they've been responded to the fans. I think NXT had one idea for them being heels, but they see the support of the fans, and I think they're slowly getting behind them because they really got that Steiner Brothers type vibes to them, Romeo.
I mean, NXT is developing a future main eventer in Braun Breaker, a future mid-carder for now. He could be a main eventer too in Carmelo Hayes, a future tag team in the Creed Brothers. As far as the women go, they're trying to get Brandi Rhodes back heated up, but she's not on the level as the other three acts.
Yeah, it's not. No matter how much attention they give to the Toxic Attraction, it's just not working. They did a whole opening segment with them texting each other about the fucking matches on this goddamn show. I thought I turned on the wrong show, or that I missed the start. I thought the show started at 7. That looked like a random segment they have in the middle of the show, not the opening.
I would say, for all fairness, the fact that Braun Breaker is doing this, and he is only 24 years old, is fucking remarkable. Because that motherfucker is going to be a player for a long, long time. So obviously I will get to see Braun Breaker, because I'm not watching him now. I will get to see him when the time comes, because that motherfucker, he's not even 25 yet. He's not even 25 years old yet. Register that. This man just became legally able to drink. Like, come on.
Put in perspective, yeah.
Got a fucking future ahead of him.
For sure. Bright future for Braun Breaker. And it's great watching him grow match to match. And Escobar made for a good opponent. And I got to mention Escobar's terrific Eddie Guerrero tribute tights. Love those. WWE Raw, they did 1.602 million viewers, preempted on Sci-Fi Network. Seth Rollins defeated Randy Orton in a good main event matchup. You also had Bianca Belair won the gauntlet to determine the final participant to enter the Elimination Chamber at the event, beating Rhea Ripley, who put in an incredible effort lasting 44 minutes. You also had Impact on AXS TV that we missed last night. The Bullet Club defeated Violent by Design in a 6-man tag team matchup ahead of No Surrenders Jay White versus Eric Young showdown. Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans beat Mickie James and Chelsea Green after Tasha pinned the Knockouts champion Mickie James ahead of No Surrender. We're going to give you our picks and predictions for Impact No Surrender very shortly.
I love me some Tasha Steelz, boy. I love me some Tasha Steelz. But can I just answer a question in that chat really quick? I don't drink no one's tea. I don't drink no one's tea. These are my original things. I don't drink no one's tea. I don't get influenced by no one. Just
to be joke.
to clear that really quick.
To be fair, yeah, he even put the LOL. Just kidding.
No, I don't care. I just want to answer the first part. That second part, yeah, we good now. We good. We always cool.
To be fair to Top Guy JJ is hating on WWE. He's not hating on the only wrestling promotion he likes, like Jimmy. Frantic World says, I'm with you, Top Guy. I'm not watching WWE anymore this year. NXT 2.0 sucks. But we appreciate you, Frantic World. You always in the live chat when we watching it. You rather watch us than WWE? I respect the hell out of you, Frantic World.
Now, I'll watch this shit. Now, I don't say I don't watch WWE anymore. Because I watch the Royal Rumble. I will watch Elimination Chamber.
The pay-per-view guy.
The weekly shit, I ain't watching that bullshit no more.
Which is fair because you're not really missing much.
No,
the pay-per-view.
You're seeing the best stuff. You're seeing the best stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like when I watch a pay-per-view, I actually enjoy it a little bit more if I'm not seeing all the weekly shit that leads up to it. So if I see some decent matches, because I have no idea what's on this card until SP reads this shit off later. I have no idea what's on this Elimination Chamber card. So maybe something might be worth it.
There you go. But yeah, that's a great way to do it, honestly, because that's the best thing in that you can get to. And I did actually note that, Romeo. So let's get into our news rundown. Just when you think we were done talking about all that news with Stone Cold and Cody Rhodes, we got more news to discuss. WWE news. WWE made a huge announcement today that The Undertaker will be the headliner for the 2022 Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Taker and his family and all his fans. Not me. But yes, The Undertaker will headline in Dallas, Texas.
So disrespectful.
SP, come on.
In Dallas, Texas.
He overstayed his welcome, but come on. We were all fans of Undertaker.
Not letting it go that he overstayed his welcome. Damian Hernandez echoing what Top Guy JJ is basically saying. Nothing is worth watching in except for the pay-per-view.
Too many hours. It's too many hours. They got 7 hours of TV a week. That's too much. That's too much for me.
And you, my boy Blue, is giving y'all the game plan. You can watch the first show of the month, the go-home show, and the pay-per-view, and keep up with what's going on with WWE. You don't have to watch that repetitive crap.
I'll trim that in half. I'll watch the pay-per-view and find out what's going on.
And Frantic World also mentioned your live streams are so funny, guys. Thank you so much, Frantic World. We really appreciate you. You're a legend. According to Dave Meltzer, though, this is something that I think is in line with our previous announcement, our previous news. Austin isn't the only big surprise set for the WrestleMania 38 event, as WWE reportedly has another surprise plan that is said to be Austin level. Any predictions, Top Guy JJ?
No. What the fuck is Austin level? That makes no sense.
Oh, I know what it is.
Who do you think? Who do you think, Romeo?
I want to take that moment that you're going to ask me about some Austin level shit and give props to Chris Jericho. Because Chris Jericho is getting back to what he was. Chris Jericho's starting to look phenomenal. I just want to point that out there because
he's getting into shape.
He's getting back to what he was, and I'm fucking all for it because we need that in our lives.
Romeo, who do you think is the Austin level surprise?
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, this is a spoiler alert. I'm telling you what's gonna happen at WrestleMania.
So this is a prediction, not a spoiler.
No, this is a spoiler, not a prediction.
Spoiler, not a prediction. I like the change.
After Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar and becomes the double Universal WWE Champion, the only guy on the level of Stone Cold Steve Austin is The Rock, and he will come face to face with his cousin, setting up 1 year in advance WrestleMania next year in Cali.
It should be noted that The Rock apparently is scheduled for a movie, but this latest news that we have here does hint to Romeo being right. Finally, The Rock has come back, question mark. It depends on what you think about a recent tweet from the Great One. Rock delivered an on-field promo prior to the kickoff of the Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where WrestleMania 39 will take place. And he replied to a comment regarding his famous catchphrase when asked by Jamie Levine about not pausing to allow fans to finish his "and millions" line. Rock noted that it was an Easter egg and that the millions with a pause is coming soon before sharing a wink emoji. So, Top Guy JJ, you heard the pitch from Romeo. You heard this news. You think The Rock is the Austin level surprise at WrestleMania 38?
That's big.
Would you agree that it fits Austin level?
That's bigger than Austin level. Fuck that.
Damn.
Like I'd be more invested in to see some Rock shit because the Rock shit would last a little bit longer. But I'm all for. I mean, we've predicted this on many shows already that The Rock is going to be coming to SoFi Stadium, not Texas. So if they tease it, yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But you know, I don't want. I mean, they've been there, done that with this year in advance shit already. They've been there, done that. Like to see it happen again, like chill, like just do it randomly. Like don't make it on WrestleMania. Like if that's what y'all trying to do, but don't make it something that we are all going to predict. I'm just not with that. I'm not with shit that we can clearly see coming. I'm just never been a fan of that. I've never been a fan of shit that we can clearly see coming.
That's fair. Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio says that you won't see what's coming at this Saturday's event, Elimination Chamber.
Oh shit!
There will be several twists and turns that will set the stage for WrestleMania in April. It's unknown exactly what those plans will be because wrestling only has one.
I'll lose my
royal
shit
family.
If Cody Rhodes is that motherfucking. If that motherfucker made it to Saudi, I'll lose my shit.
The first thing he does is take that plane.
Also worth noting, I didn't even prep this. I don't know if Romeo has the picture, but Cody did post. Fan did post a picture on Reddit with Cody at a Polish airport that was apparently sometime this week. So we don't know why he was at a Polish airport unless he was going out of the country to a foreign country like, I don't know, Saudi Arabia. According to a new report, though, from the WrestleVotes, the NXT Stand and Deliver special will take place on Saturday morning, April 2nd at 11 a.m. It will take place at the American Airlines Center in Dallas the same day as night one of WrestleMania 38. Wow, we're gonna have another double live stream, Romeo.
We're getting a practice run this Saturday.
Yeah. Exactly, he's prepping us. WWE, I saw the question in the chat from Frantic World here. WWE is putting 205 Live to an end and pivoting to a new NXT series. According to a new report, PW Insider reported that 205 Live has been ended, and with the decision made official earlier this week. The site reports that WWE taped the first episode of NXT Level Up before NXT Vengeance Day, with the episode set to be 60 minutes long. It debuts this Friday tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time on Peacock. And no, I'm not going to be watching Frantic World. I'll be watching Rampage. Speaking to Chris,
7.
Right, that's true. I'll be filming
SmackDown. But tonight, Rampage is on at 7.
Yeah.
You got me. You got me there. You got me there, guys.
Nobody's gonna watch Level Up. It's basically just what they were doing with 205 Live, the undercard of NXT, and nobody wants to watch that.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. It's a cool name though. It's a cool name, cool looking.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, for the concept for sure. Speaking to Chris Decker and on his Danger Zone podcast, former WWE superstar Tegan Knox details getting released by WWE before she could make her Raw debut. She was drafted to the Raw brand during the 2021 WWE draft. However, she never got to appear on Raw before she was released. She said that she tested positive for COVID-19 before she was able to make her debut. She said, I didn't even make it to a Raw taping. I switched plans, technically went to a Raw taping in Texas, got COVID, was told I tested positive, and had to drive 16 hours on my own straight home. And after that, never went to a Raw taping ever. Just had to sit at home. She went on to say that she believes she didn't fit the WWE demographic. She says it's a lot of different things. Everyone is walking on eggshells. With all the releases happening, you kind of feel it could be me next. I just had this feeling where I wasn't welcomed. But as such wanted, I don't fit the demographic that they're looking for. I'm a 5'6" blonde brunette girl covered in tattoos. Watching the product now, it's very much diva era, going back to it. I feel I always felt I was on the chopping block, even if I could wrestle. Woof. A damning indictment of the current woman's direction for WWE. And speaking of releases, a statement was released by Lucha Libre Online that it was announced that WWE has released Carlos Cabrera from his contract after 25 years with the company. He's been a part of the Spanish commentary team for that entire time since 1993 as the play-by-play announcer. He worked with Hugo Savenage until 2011 and then Marcelo Rodriguez until recently. So going back to the Tegan Knox news, do you agree with what she says that WWE is going back to the Divas era, Top Guy JJ?
No, not entirely, not at all. I don't agree with that part, but everything else, spot the fuck on. Like I don't agree with the Divas era because there's too many good women's wrestlers to revert back to some shit like that. But everything else is part of why I don't support WWE television anymore. Y'all don't understand that this is that basically you're on eggshells, on the brink of getting released, the brink of losing your job every fucking day. Like, you have a company that doesn't support employment. And the fact that they've literally cut about, over 100 people in the last 18 months? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? SmackDown's roster is like all of 40 people. Like, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, spot on with everything else, but the Divas thing, no, not at all. Don't agree with that.
Fair. AEW news, Buddy Murphy is now Buddy Matthews, but he also might be all elite, according to some within the company. Matthews has been a free agent since about September and told Fightful he wasn't quite sure of where he'd land. He's worked a plethora of indies as well as dates for MLW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Fightful haven't heard details on him signing anywhere. Sources within AEW in recent weeks have indicated there was a growing interest and been rumblings about Matthews joining the company in some capacity, with some even heard that there were creative pitches made, with another source going as far as to say that creative is already decided. Several talent in AEW have been told that the working plans is to bring in Buddy Matthews, which has been going on around since January. In Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer spoke about what those creative plans might be and suggested that Matthews is likely to join the House of Black. During this week's AEW Dynamite, there was a segment in which Malachi Black, Brody King hear a knock on the door. King asks Black who they're waiting for, and Black says history. This wouldn't be the first time that Matthews has knocked on Black's door. In WWE, their feud began when Matthews, then Murphy, answered Black's repeated open challenge to knock on his door by doing just that. So the two definitely have a history. So what do you think, Romeo, about Buddy Matthews joining the House of Black? And great photo.
Look at this investigative work by me. Turning the brightness up. That's either Triple H or it's Buddy Matthews.
Can only be one of two.
No, it's great. I mean, he is the best kept secret for a reason. And aligning him with Black and the House of Black is a good move because of if you're a hardcore fan, you know their history.
Yes. And I think it's very cool. It gives more depth to the whole House of Black faction. Another note from the Wrestling Observer newsletter that dropped today. Apparently, AEW is interested and seem likely to sign both Jeff Hardy and Shane Swerve Strickland. So these are going to be two more big acquisitions for them. Swerve just became a free agent. He appeared last night at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Rivals event. He's also appeared at Defy over the weekend, confronting Darby Allin and telling him he'll see him soon. And Matt Hardy has been teasing about Jeff Hardy potentially joining the promotion for a while. So Top Guy JJ, Murphy, Buddy Matthews, Shane Swerve Strickland, Jeff Hardy. Do you think these are good acquisitions to follow up the loss of Cody Rhodes?
As long as none of these signings takes up TV time, it's fine. So basically, Buddy Matthews joins House of Black's TV time. Jeff Hardy would join whatever time Matt gets on TV time. Swerve Scott is the only one that I'm not understanding. I don't understand this dynamic. AEW is literally, this is what's going to make me mad at AEW in about a year or two. Is because AEW is not going to be able to keep all these motherfuckers. AEW is not going to be able to re-sign all of these people. So signing all these people now, yes, to get buzz, great. But now what happens in a year, 2 years, when you have to sign all these motherfuckers back that want more money? So I'm not getting where this revenue is coming from to be able to just keep signing people. Like, at what point you're going to have to be careful with what you're currently doing right now because your roster is fucking massive.
During Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer added more to Wednesday's discussion about AEW's budget and salary scale. Meltzer confirmed that AEW does have a budget and as a result hasn't made offers to certain wrestlers. It's rumored that one of the reasons that Cody left was because of money disagreements, but that hasn't been confirmed. He said yesterday that two WWE superstars tried to get big money offers from AEW, but the money wasn't there in AEW's budget. During Thursday's episode, it was repeated that Khan does indeed have a budget he sticks to, and Kevin Owens' name was brought up. It was said that Khan could have made a big money offer to Owens, but elected not to. And Meltzer added that Khan is very aware of his talent budget. So, once again, very, very interesting indeed. In an interview with J. Mart and Ramon, speaking of contracts, Jim Ross confirmed that his contract will be up for renewal in April, but he's not looking to go anywhere. That seems to suggest he plans to stick around after originally signing with the company back in 2019. Speaking to the Strong Style podcast, New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestler Jay White, who discussed trying to rejuvenate the Bullet Club, the view that the stable has gotten stale, and why he appeared on AEW Dynamite, he said, and I quote, "I guess what I'm doing is trying to rejuvenate the Bullet Club in the way that I truly see it. You know, people can sometimes, whether they think Bullet Club gets stale or not, especially since my absence from Japan with the likes of guys like Evil and the House of Torture saying that they're still the Bullet Club. You know, Bullet Club's just going like this, signals down. So I put it on myself to go to Impact, to New Japan Strong, to AEW, just to prove the success of the Bullet Club has to run through me." White on his AEW appearance, he said, like Cole said, he said to them the other night, I believe, "Hey, if you need a hand, Jay White's here. That's what I've been brought in to do. That's what I'm doing." I felt like the Bucks could have a little bit of a hand with things recently, so I figured I'd come over and extend my hand to them. I don't know how they feel about me personally from the past. I don't know how they feel about me after they were ringside when I beat Kenny. But again, like Cole, when I think about it, there's never really been any personal issue between me and the Bucks that should cause any problem with us being on the same page now. Romeo, what do you think about Jay White and AEW? Do you think this could rejuvenate the Bullet Club?
I don't know. Like I said on a Ramble, they got to be careful with all this storylines as far as it goes, like Bullet Club drama and like stuff that the casual fan doesn't really like know about. They got to explain it much better. For the hardcore fans, I'm sure it's fun, but it could also be one big convoluted mess.
Very true. Speaking of more AEW contract news, during the Thursday's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported that Chris Jericho will be with All Elite Wrestling until 2024 at least. According to Dave Meltzer, Jericho's 2-year extension option was picked up before the pandemic started, way back in January 2020. As previously noted, most of the initial contracts for AEW were 3 years, with possible 2-year options to extend. Jericho initially signed with the company in 2019. Several of the deals that were originally signed were likewise extended, including the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega's deal isn't believed to be up until next year, though. And speaking of Omega, his current contract runs through early February 2023, and reported that he has about another year left on his AEW contract and expected to expire February 1st, 2023. And it should also be noted that Kenny Omega was one of the big winners in this year's Wrestling Observer Awards, and AEW once again dominating. Kenny Omega won the US and Canada MVP, as well as the Luthez Ric Flair Wrestler of the Year, as well as his feud with Hangman Page was voted the feud of the year. This is voted on by the voters of Wrestling Observer, not Dave Meltzer himself. I know a lot of people will say or think that. AEW won Best Promotion, Best Weekly TV Show with AEW Dynamite. Tony Khan won Best Booker and Promoter. MJF won Best on Interviews. CM Punk won Biggest Box Office Draw. The Young Bucks won Tag Team of the Year and Match of the Year with their All Out 2021 Steel Cage match with the Young Bucks. With the Lucha Bros. So what a sweep basically of the awards by AEW. I know I'm missing probably a few, right, Romeo?
Sounds very similar to our Tru Heel Heat End of Year awards, except for the best on the mic. We voted Eddie Kingston. I said it should have been MJF.
You did. You were right in line with the Observer voters. And speaking of interviews, we talked about Tegan Knox's interview, talking about her leaving WWE. Big interview was with Big Swole this week. I saw a bunch of you talking about it this week. Shout out to the Public Enemies podcast. They're doing great things over there. And they interviewed former AEW AEW star Big Swole. She addressed Tony Khan's controversial remarks he made about her on Twitter in late December. Around that time, Khan responded to comments made by Swole during her Swole Word podcast. And of course, we went into great detail about that when that went down. But Big Swole said on Tony Khan's remarks about her wrestling, "I don't understand that Tony Khan's remark about her in-ring ability. I don't understand that. Like, it's just, I feel like it just wasn't necessary, especially when you're in a position of power. And then, sometimes people with power, they do of course make mistakes. But however, I feel like you've been in this position of power for a very long time, whether it be with different sports organizations and everything. So I feel like a certain decor, you should have had it. In a sense, especially like I said, with the line, only say this because during our exit interview, I asked him about my skills and about my wrestling. He said, I literally asked him, I was like, hey, because I was asking why I wasn't on TV for a year, because I wanted to have some closure so that I can move on with my life. I asked him, I was like, hey, what is the reason behind me not being on TV? I'm like, is it my wrestling skills? Do you think that I'm not up to par? And he blatantly just came out and just praised me and said, oh no, that's definitely not it. Her reaction to the incident, she said, and I quote, on my end, I feel like we have gone past the point of where it's acceptable for you to give me or send an apology or a retractment, or even just, hey, I'm sorry that you're experiencing all this crap. You know, it's at a point where I'm like, well, I've said my prayers. I've pretty much almost given up on it in a sense, because I don't want anything like this having power over me, being worried about, oh, is he going to apologize? Is he going to apologize? He can apologize whenever he wants to, or even if he feels the need to. I'm just at the point where you have my number. You still follow me on all my social media. You could have been reached out. There's avenues, there's streets, there's boulevards, there's hovels, there's lanes, there's courts, swole laughs. There's even forbidden doors, because I'm like, you know, people that are close and dear to you are reaching out to me, and you know, seeing this, I know you're seeing this. Top Guy JJ, what do you think about Big Swole's comments?
That was a lot to process. I mean, a lot to process, because here's the deal: is that it started to feel like she's bitching. It started to feel like she's just bitching, because obviously in her in-ring is a part best, but when it comes to then the follow-up is where it started to be like, yeah.
She just did one interview.
Back to classic Tony Dick status. It's basically it went right back to that. So it's like at the beginning it was like, okay, yeah, you're just whining, but it literally, as soon as it tails on, it's like, first, you've been lied to. You can't be told anything straight to your face. You can't be told anything straight up. No one is literally giving you any direction or any sense of where anything is going until it's up. And that is the classic case of bad wrestling promoters. And it's like, and if he continues to follow a path like that with certain wrestlers, it doesn't matter if it's only 2 to 3 cases, it's going to have a ripple effect on everything you do going forward. So, 100%. Like I said, so that's why it's good to hear the entirety of the story, because literally the first 30 seconds when SP was talking, I was like, yeah, she's just bitching. But then in the next minute and a half, it's like, whoa, whoa. She's been deceived. She's been deceived. She's been lied to. She's been stabbed in the back. She's just literally asking for the truth, and it can't be delivered to her. So it's interesting to see how a company handles certain people. You know, when you say certain people, you kind of look, got to look at the color of your skin, and realize what we mean by that. But then all of a sudden, you get guys that gets extended in the year 2020 in January before you even realize the potential you can deliver for the company. So it's like the decision was made on you in about 30 days, when then you're deciding the next 4 years of another man's career. It's not consistent.
There you go. Romeo, what do you think about this whole Big Swole's comment in regards to leaving AEW?
Oh, I stepped out, so I didn't even hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a lot. I'm not going to go over it. The final AEW note, Dustin, and I have also reached out to Big Swole if she wants to come on this platform and speak about her time in AEW and leaving AEW, and Tony Khan. I've reached out to her to see if she wants to come on here. Following the departure of his brother, Dustin Rhodes issued his own personal comments via Twitter. He said, "No, I'm not leaving. I like it here in AEW. I love my brother, #Cody Rhodes. I love my sister-in-law at the Brandi Rhodes. Whatever they decide to do in life, I support 110%. I am sad that they are gone, but the fucking train keeps moving. Let's fucking go." New Japan Pro Wrestling news real quick. Minoru Suzuki is making his way back to the U.S. for New Japan Pro Wrestling. 2 shows in Texas and Chicago. New Japan Pro Wrestling announced on Tuesday that the legendary wrestling star will be a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling Lone Star Shootout in Dallas on April 1st, as well as Windy City Riot on April 16th. Gabriel Kidd made some noise this week with interviews for the Wrestle Things podcast, calling out the 4 pillars of AEW, as well as the 4 killers, singling out Daniel Garcia and saying he's not on the level of the LA Dojo guys. He also had an interview with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful where he called out FTR. And Will Ospreay then tweeted that Gabriel Kidd is currently going through something with mental health and should give him time to help himself. So hope everything is well with him.
Dustin Rhodes sounds really ungrateful. He sounds like an ungrateful fucking brother. Like, are you fucking serious right now? You're the Cody Rhodes is the fucking reason you're in AEW right now. But the train keeps moving. Let's fucking go. Nigga, what was the last fucking time you was on TV? I'm talking about the train keeps moving. You have missed multiple stops, my man. You have missed pretty much every stop there is in every city. You're just in the back doing absolutely fucking nothing, but the train keeps moving. Let's fucking go. You're going to support
he's training. He's training a bunch of the women's wrestlers.
What an AEW shill.
He sounds fucking ungrateful. That's what he sounds ungrateful to his brother.
Tony Khan signed him, not his brother. Just
yeah,
saying.
sure. Yeah, I wonder why that happened.
His brother gave him the match of his career.
And you're right. You ungrateful fuck. Like, shit, yo.
Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling news.
Members.
Impact Wrestling is delivering a doubleheader at WrestleCon. The company announced on Tuesday. Impact announced that they will host back-to-back live shows on April 1st as part of WrestleMania weekend. And a big loss for Impact, as Josh Alexander has given an update on his status, saying that both his Impact Wrestling contract and work visa have expired. The Impact alumni posted on Twitter on Monday to note he will be forced to miss his scheduled dates at Terminus 2 and ML Wrestling. Say that 5 times fast. Today, wow. He said in a tweet, "Today my contract expired and subsequently also U.S. work visa. Unfortunately, as a consequence, I will not be able to honor any of my commitments to both Terminus and AML Wrestling later this month. I'm disappointed and I'm sorry. Hopefully, I'll have everything in order soon." And then our final wrestling news notes, Matt Cardona made history by defeating Trevor Murdoch at the NWA Power Trip taping to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He now holds gold in Impact and NWA as well as the Internet Championship. Ring of Honor has announced that Samoa Joe is the next inductee into the inaugural class of the ROH Hall of Fame. He joins Bryan Danielson and the Briscoes under the first class. Leo Rush is making his return to MLW and will be a part of the company's Kings of the Coliseum show in May. PW Insider reports WWE has a deadline of March 15th in order to officially respond to MLW's 19-page lawsuit against them for monopolizing the industry. And GCW announced on Thursday that Minoru Suzuki is booked for a group of shows from March 31st to April 23rd. So you're going to see a lot of Minoru Suzuki again in the U.S. in April. The Briscoes will defend the ROH World Tag Team titles at SuperCon of Honor in April, and they announced that on a Facebook Q&A. But that is all the news we've gone over. Now we got to go and predict a full weekend of shows, 3 huge shows tomorrow, another huge show on Sunday. Let us know in the live chat your picks, your predictions for New Japan Pro Wrestling Golden Series finale, Impact Wrestling No Surrender 2022, as well as Elimination Chamber 2022, because we're about to give our picks and predictions. As per usual in New Japan Pro Wrestling, we're only going to talk about the top matches on the show. Tomorrow morning, February 19th, so Sapporo, you got New Japan Pro Wrestling Golden Series, another edition, like night 17 or something. You got IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships on the line. The Flying Tigers, Tiger Mask, and Robbie Eagles versus Taiji Ishimori and El Phantasmo. These two teams were in a 3-way back at Wrestle Kingdom with the Flying Eagles getting the victory. Who do you think gets the win here, Romeo? Flying Eagles or the Bullet Club?
Bullet Club.
For life. Top guy, JJ?
Bullet Club needs this bad. Like, Bullet Club down bad, bro. Like, they need this more than they need a lifeline. They need a lifeline.
You got the leader saying you looking bad in Japan. You got to win something. So I agree with that. I'm going with the Bullet Club. IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi will defend the titles against Evil and Yujiro Takahashi of House of Torture. House of Torture are the current 6-man tag team champions, and they beat the Chaos trio to get those titles. So now the Chaos duo of Goto and Yoshihashi will have to represent Chaos against the Bullet Club duo of Evil and Yujiro. Top guy JJ, who you got?
Yeah, we're gonna go with the House of Chaos. We're definitely gonna go with Evil and Team retaining these titles. Every single title is not going to change this. Everything's not changing tonight. We're definitely not doing that. Oh, in the morning. Sorry, our morning.
And don't worry, fifth generation Carney, we're going to have a Patreon exclusive. If you go over to patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, $3 a month, very affordable. We have J News Japan covering all the major shows from New Japan with myself and J News. And we got a couple of predictions here. Nick Jackson with the Bullet Club, Frantic World, also Bullet Club. And then finally, the main event on tomorrow's show. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask Romeo, Goto and Yoshihashi versus Evil and Yujiro.
I'll go with Evil and Yujiro. They'll probably cheat like they always do. And New Japan loves Evil, loves the cheating
they love giving titles to Evil. Evil is the never openweight champion and the never openweight 6-man champion. He's gonna have 3 titles. Oh God,
they love him.
I gotta go with Goto and Yoshihashi for the love of God, please. IWGP US Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. This should be a great matchup. It's going to be Hiroshi Tanahashi defending against Sanada. Hiroshi Tanahashi won the championship back at Wrestle Kingdom in that insane no disqualification match with Kenta. Sanada defeated Great Okan to gain the #1 contendership in this matchup. Romeo, who you got, Tanahashi or Sanada?
I'll go with Tanahashi, but I don't mind seeing a switch.
I don't mind either. Top guy JJ, who you got?
Look, man, I'm a Sonata mark, so I'm going Sonata. I'm going Sonata. I'm not. No, Tanahashi has like 60 million wins, so he can take a loss.
I'm going to. My fickle being and thoughts say that they hate Sonata and they're never going to let him win a title, especially not in the main event. But this win would be huge for Sonata, and it wouldn't do anything for Tanahashi. It would just be another win over Sonata for Tanahashi.
Right. So feather on the cap.
Yeah, Sonata needs this win a lot more than anybody else on this card. And Nick Jackson also going for Sonata. And look at that, CM calling you out, Romeo, with stick figures or real pictures.
CM, you think it looks easy, but you have no idea how much hard work goes into making those stick figures. You have no idea. It looks easy. It's not easy doing it on the phone.
Not easy at all. On Sunday, February 20th, back in Sapporo, we got the final night of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Golden Series. There's going to be a dog cage fight for the King of Pro Wrestling 2022 provisional trophy. Minoru Suzuki will defend against the first 2 King of Pro Wrestling champion Toru Yano. So who wins this one? I don't know what a dog cage fight is. We're about to find out on February 20th.
Romeo. Like a dome. It's like a cage dome.
It doesn't sound very big.
Dome. It's got to be a dome cage.
It sounds very confined. It sounds very confined.
Yeah, literally. Like it's got to be a top. It's got to be a top on this cage.
So
to be a dog cage.
You're talking about the old shit from Celebrity Deathmatch, the Dome of Devastation? That was my shit. You remember when Oprah Winfrey versus Jerry Springer versus Rosie O'Donnell? God. That was the first ever dome. Don't get me started. I'm a mark for Celebrity Deathmatch. That might be my favorite all-time MTV show. Let us know in the live chat if you're also a Celebrity Deathmatch fan. But yes, who you got in this one? Top guy JJ, Suzuki or Yano?
Oh God, this is so hard. This is so hard because Yano, you always think Yano's going to lose every match he participates in. It's just so hard. You know what? I'm going to go with Yano. I'm going Yano on this one. Because it's not going to make no sense, but he's going to win.
Romeo, who you got?
I don't know what a dog cage match is, but I'm sure Yano's been in like 5 of them, so I'm going with Yano.
I kind of have to go with Yano because of all the news we broke down. Like, Suzuki has to go pretty soon. He has to be in the U.S., so he's not going to be around to be the KOPW champion. It makes sense for Yano to get the trophy or the title that he so richly claims.
I have something very off topic because there's a lot of people in the chat right now. How did the roll call go this morning? How did the roll call go when it started? Because I think I missed the roll call, obviously.
Alan Weinstein is up to number 2 now.
Oh shit! I'm just saying. You got a lot. You gotta have a lot to choose from. You're gonna have a lot to choose from. I'm just saying. And there's a lot more where that came from. So I'm just saying. So
Nick Jackson talked trash. He said,
"You got about 5-6 more weeks."
Yes, 5-6 more weeks. We might have to do something else with those care packages. Maybe something to inspire more people to go on Patreon. Like we do a Patreon like giveaway for one of those two.
Use me as your guinea pig of advertisement. You can use it. It just let me know what's going on so I don't shit the bed with people. So just let me know what's happening. But I am all y'all's for a guinea pig.
There you go. So there you go, people. Another incentive to patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. We might be doing a giveaway of the candles as well. Alan Weinstein, though, you working hard. Make your way to number 1 on the Tru Heels group page.
Okay.
Also on there, so we're all going for Yano, it seems, for the dog cage fight. Never openweight 6-man tag team titles. Once again, House of Torture, Evil Show, and Yujiro Takahashi will defend against the former champions of Chaos, but this time it's Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Yo. This is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. Who do you think wins this one, House of Torture or Chaos, Romeo?
House of Torture. Same evil logic as earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. House of Torture wins. He's going to lose the first night. He's got to win the second night, I guess. Top guy, JJ?
Right, exactly. If Chaos is going to win the first night, House of Torture is definitely winning night 2. We're not getting no clean sweeps out here.
Absolutely. And then finally, this one should be an absolute banger and another potential, I repeat, match of the year candidate, maybe. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Kazuchika Okada will defend against one of his arch rivals, Tetsuya Naito. There you go, CM.
There
you go.
They're highly improved.
The bear Tetsuya Naito and stick figure Okada are here for you. You ask and you shall receive.
You got an upgrade there. Massive upgrade.
Naito challenged Okada following his win on Wrestle Kingdom Night 2 over Will Ospreay in an absolute fantastic match that was. And these two men have had a fierce rivalry that actually is, I believe, currently tied. I believe they are 6-6-1 in head-to-head competition with each other.
That's
or I believe
crazy. Naito's got 6 wins on this guy. That's crazy.
I believe that Okada might have like a slim one victory advantage over him. I'm not too sure. Let us know in the live chat if you know. Top guy JJ though, who you got? Okada, Naito.
Oh, these two motherfuckers have been to war, hell, back, and fucking been. Ooh, damn. Wow. Oh, this is hard. Because they're so even. I'm gonna go eyeball here. I'm gonna go with Naito. I'm gonna go with Naito for the win here.
Oh, baby.
Romeo, who you got?
I would love if he were right, because I'm a bigger Naito fan than I am Okada, but I'm gonna go with Okada.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you saw the
bigger Naito fan than me.
If you saw the reactions to Wrestle Kingdom when Okada won the title, I'm an Okada mark. I'm going with Okada. Okada for sure. And also, you're going to see Impact No Surrender 2022. We're not going to do a live stream for New Japan Pro Wrestling. We did get a lot of support for Wrestle Kingdom, so we may do another in a couple of months, but not for this one. But we will be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Impact Wrestling No Surrender 2022. We actually did a preview show for that drops tonight. Following Rampage and SmackDown, our Impact preview show with myself and Krssi breaking down our picks. You can check that out tonight. So I won't give my picks here. You can save it for tonight. I would just ask the fellas their picks on the pre-show. This is matches that we weren't able to predict on the preview show, but pre-show here, Trey Miguel will go one-on-one with John Skyler. I think this is easy. Trey Miguel, right?
Correct for me. Yeah.
Top guy JJ.
I'm sorry, I was going over some care package giveaway stuff. Can you repeat that for me, please?
Trey Miguel versus John Skyler.
Ooh.
Thinking way too hard about this. You only know one guy.
I'm gonna go Miguel.
You only know one of the guys. It's a very easy one.
Yeah, that's the shit that be fucking me up. Is if there's a guy I never heard of, and then all of a sudden he's really good.
Don't worry. I will gas it up for you. So you think about. And thanks for joining us on Twitch. Got GA Beat House 99. Yes, we are live.
So GA, you see the house right there? You see that little thing on the top left hand corner? It might show it on the bottom. It might be on your little icon here. But
we don't know on Twitch. I don't know sometimes on Twitch.
There's a little red live thing that shows up.
Oh, okay, cool. We got a question for Top Guy. Top Guy, what's your Mount Rushmore of candle scents?
Ooh, that's hard. That's really hard. If I had to go right now, let me take a look at this monstrosity. If I had to look right now, I'm gonna go cinnamon spice vanilla, black cherry merlot, island papaya, and blueberry sugar.
Wow, this guy's so skilled. He knew. He just had to look.
It takes a minute because I have over 215 cents here, so it's a little hard.
So let's run through the matches on this card because there's a lot of matches. 10-match card on the main show.
Holy shit.
Eric Young will go one-on-one for his first singles match in Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling's own, the leader of the Bullet Club, Switchblade Jay White. Switchblade Jay White returned to Impact Wrestling along with the Bullet Club. They won a 4-on-4 tag team main event and were jumped by Violent by Design and the Good Brothers, setting up this singles match here. Who do you think wins? White versus Young. I'm going with White. Romeo?
White. This is easy.
Top guy JJ.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going White here. Why are we even talking about this?
Jonah will go one-on-one with Black Taurus of the Decay. Excuse me. Jonah was beaten down Johnny Swinger, who became friends with the Decay. They came out and made the save. Jonah then destroyed Crazy Steve, setting up this matchup with Black Taurus. I'm going with Jonah. Top guy JJ.
Of course, we're going with Jonah here. I mean, he ain't fucking go over there for no reason.
Romeo?
Another easy one, Jonah.
This one is probably the most interesting match that we're going to talk about here, as Team Impact will be in a 5-on-5 matchup. It's going to be Steve Macklin, Rhino, Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards, and Chris Sabin versus Team Honor No More, Excursions, Invaders from Ring of Honor, who have now left that company and have come to take over Impact Wrestling, led by the OGK, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, PCO, Vincent, and Kenny King. If Honor No More wins, they stay in Impact Wrestling. This has honestly been the best storyline in Impact since Hard to Kill, when Honor No More debuted, attacking members of the Impact roster. Since then, they have added Kenny King to their rings. They have taken out Heath. They've taken out Willie Mack. They caused a lot of the anger in Josh Alexander that led to him being taken out of this matchup. But now they have the match that they can finally stay in Impact Wrestling for good. So who wins, Honor No More or Team Impact? Romeo.
Honor No More. This was a good way by Impact to debut all these ROH guys together. It only makes sense for the storyline for them to stay.
Top guy JJ.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going with Honor No More. I mean, that's actually a pretty cool name.
Mm-hmm.
And there goes one of my Mount Rushmores. Just letting y'all see. See, it's one of my Mount Rushmores right there, just sitting on deck. You know, they ready.
Great comment by Negro Buck. Marcus Cash's favorite wrestler, Jonah. If you didn't know the story, Top Guy JJ, Marcus Cash, before the Casino ladder match, he believed the Joker should have been Jonah and was upset when it was Hangman Page.
Oh, I mean, makes sense, but I mean, would have been not that excited if it was Jonah anyway.
Exactly.
So.
ROH Women's or AAA Reina Del Rey's Championship Open Challenge. I think this is one of the more unique open challenges that I've seen instituted, as Deonna Purrazzo is 2 belts Deonna. She will defend the titles in an open challenge, and the person who answers the open challenge will choose if they want to challenge for the ROH Women's World title or the Reina Del Rey's title. Who do you got, Top Guy JJ? And who do you think is going to answer this open challenge here? There's people like Giselle Shaw, who just debuted. Masha Slamovich would be a very interesting one, who had her debut match against Deonna Purrazzo. There's a lot of talent in the Impact Knockouts division. Who do you think answers the call?
I'm
And this is a live pay-per-view, so it could be a WWE release talent as well.
That's what I thought. I think it'd be one of these free agents.
I like, damn, I want to see Tasha Steele in the spotlight so bad.
Well, we're gonna get to Tasha. She's on this card.
See, that ain't happening. And fuck, man. like, what are my options here? I have no idea.
I gave you some options on the current roster. There's also Lady Frost, who's been getting a bunch of momentum. I'm gonna go with Tegan Nox. I think Tegan Nox.
I was just about to say that. I
think it's Tegan Nox.
That was gonna be all nice and smart.
That would be nice. I agree with y'all. Because I don't know who the fuck y'all talking about here.
But I think she's losing. Deonna wins.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I think. We got fifth generation answering you. Say you got to love that his Mount Rushmore smells are like smells like my favorite 4 strippers. Makes sense.
Oh, cinnamon spice vanilla. I get it. Papaya. I get it.
That was good. That was a great comment. Great comment.
Absolutely.
Frantic Girl saying, I don't know more. We'll take over Impact. We got Frantic Girl with a great prediction here. This is something that I heard floated around. Eddie Edwards is going to join I don't know more. He is a former ROH talent.
Damn.
That's a good call right there. Deep cut.
What a traitor.
Impact X Division Championship #1 contenders match. Chris Bay will versus Ace Austin versus Jake Something versus Mike Bailey. Ace Austin, Jake Something, and Mike Bailey were actually on the team that
versus something. What the fuck is that?
That's his name. They were on the team that versed the Bullet Club and lost to them in the 4-on-4 match. But now all 4 men want a shot at the X Division Championship. Who is going to be the #1 contender in this one? Romeo?
Fuck. I don't know. I'll go with Bailey.
Mike Bailey, he's been picking up a lot of momentum, been tearing it up on the indie scene. We should bring up, he was on the Warrior Wrestling Show, had nothing but great things about his match against Santana of Proud and Powerful. Also, we should mention Athena made her in-ring return since her WWE release and had a 30-minute classic with Thunder Rosa for the Warrior Wrestling Women's Championship on that show. But who wins this 4-way here, Top Guy JJ? Something, Austin, Bailey, or Bay?
Since the Bullet Club is down so bad, I'm just gonna start pulling for club members. So we're gonna go Bay.
I am going to agree with Top Guy JJ. I think Chris Bay should get the victory. I think this should be a very celebratory night for the Bullet Club. Hint, hint. Impact Digital Media World Championship is on the line. Matt Cardona will defend against Jordan Grace. He defeated Jordan Grace for the championship by turning heel and using a steel chair to beat the first ever digital media champion. And we've been seeing a little bit of that heel Cardona that has been one of the hottest stars outside of WWE since his release and his whole heel run in GCW. Who you got in this one? Cardona or Grace? Top Guy JJ?
Oh, I was confused as fuck when you said heel turn. I was like, motherfucker's been a heel.
Not in Impact until recently.
About the little semi feud with Moose that he was a pure face for that shit. Well, yeah, Cardona is definitely retaining here. Obviously, he's gonna do so many dirty tactics here during this match. He's gonna do everything dirty in the book to win this, but he's definitely gonna win.
Romeo?
Listen, I don't like the way that Cardona won this championship, cheating against my good friend Jordan Grace, who also follows me on Twitter. I don't know if anyone knew about that. But listen, I'm rooting for Jordan, but the Tru Heel Heat prediction championship means too much to me to take a L in her honor. So I'm going to go with Cardona. Don't be mad at me, Jordan. Don't unfollow me. It's just
here on Tru Heel
business.
You get simping on Tru Heel Heat.
And she's like, unfollow,
you get
unfollow.
You get simping on Tru Heel Heat.
Unfollow right now. Impact Wrestling tag team, Knockouts tag team titles will be on the line. The Inspiration will finally defend against the Influence. This match was supposed to go down at Hard to Kill. COVID protocols denied us that, but this one will finally go down. Tennille Dashwood versus kind of her proteges from Australia. The Inspiration with her tag team partner Madison Rayne versus Jesse McKay and Casey Lee. So who wins this one? Who do you got? Top guy JJ. Cassie.
I mean, anything with my bay in it, you already know. You already know that's where the pick is going. Come on, man. We definitely going with the Influence right here, man. The Inspiration has been probably one of the wackest tag champions in Impact history. I mean, come on now. I'm playing. I'm just picking my bay in this match. I'm picking Bay Dashwood in this match. I don't give a fuck about any elements in this match.
If going this match for the Influence.
Momentum involved, I don't give a fuck about momentum. I'm just picking Bay Dashwood.
Romeo, you got.
Well, Top Guy, you better start caring because you're 3-3 so far in this prediction championship. Me, I am 5-1. It's because I make great decisions like picking.
I had no idea I was even in this.
No,
hold on. That's fucked up. That's fucked up that y'all did this because y'all know I purposely picked a pay-per-view to go winless on.
But now we have a prediction championship.
Y'all are some wrong motherfuckers for that because I'd have actually been making real life predictions. There's no way I would pick my bay if I know there's a fucking championship on the line. But I'm picking my bay anyway because I simp for my bay.
I love how he says all of that to still pick her.
Sipping ain't easy.
Sipping ain't easy, yo. Drink her bath water, bro.
Knockouts championship. Mickey James will defend against Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz earned the opportunity by winning the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match back at Hard to Kill. Mickey James defeated Deonna Purrazzo in the main event of Hard to Kill to retain the Knockouts World Championship. Of course, she was in the Women's Royal Rumble just a couple of weeks back, but lost, and Tasha Steelz has been rubbing it in her face ever since, and Tasha scored a pinfall victory over Mickey James in tag team competition this past week on Impact on AXS TV. So who wins, Tasha or Mickey? Romeo.
I want to pick Tasha, but just the way this booking has been going, Tasha's been getting the upper hand. I'm going to have to go with Mickey.
Top guy, JJ?
Yeah, you don't get a pinfall on regular TV to win on the pay-per-view, bro. That's just not how it works. That shit don't work like that. So we definitely going with Mickey James for the win. But it's great to see my girl Tasha Steelz in the main event scene like that. It's so fucking awesome to see that.
Well deserved, 100%. And then we also got here. I'm also going to pick Mickey James as well. I think Mickey gets the victory. Either of the next two matches could be the main event, in my opinion, because one's a dream match, the other is for the Impact World Championship. Moose will defend the title against W. Morrissey. Moose defeated Morrissey and Cardona at Hard to Kill in a three-way match, but he pinned Cardona. W. Morrissey hasn't let him forget that and has slowly been turning babyface as he has gone through Brian Myers and the members of the Learning Tree, and then was brutally attacked by Moose with steel chairs crushing his neck last week on Impact on AXS TV, but he came back this week and chokeslammed the champion off the stage through a table. So who wins this one, Morrissey or Moose? Top guy JJ.
Moose.
I'm also going to agree and go with Moose in this
Unanimous.
one.
Moose gets his revenge.
Unanimous indeed. And then finally, this, my friends, I feel is the main event of this matchup. A tag team match that New Japan fans have wanted to see for quite some time. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, will defend the Impact Tag Team Championships against the greatest IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions of all time, 7-time champions, the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They have arrived in Impact Wrestling just a few weeks back and immediately called out the Good Brothers, saying they want a shot at the Impact Tag Team titles. They say that the Good Brothers were basically fired from the Bullet Club. They didn't leave the Bullet Club. They were fired from the Bullet Club. The Good Brothers believe the GOD and the rest of the Bullet Club owe them a debt of gratitude for getting them the big houses, the big cars, making all the money, creating the Bullet Club, while GOD says that the reason they've been all around the world in all these companies is because they get fired from everywhere. Who do you think wins this one? The Good Brothers or the GOD? Top guy JJ.
Wow. I mean, listen, man. I'm definitely going with my good friends God here, man. We definitely going Gorillas of Destiny here, even though it's probably the wrong pick. I don't give a fuck. I ain't got no investment in the Good Brothers. We definitely going Gorillas of Destiny here. I don't give a fuck if it's the wrong pick or not.
Romeo.
I'm gonna say they stick around a little bit longer, and I'm gonna go God as well.
And I think this is unanimous. I think the right move for this tag team division is to put the titles on our boys, the God.
Yes, sir.
Check out our interview with Tama Tonga. That's our boy. We got a couple of comments to highlight here. Negro Buck saying, "Ain't nobody realer than Gorillas. Ain't nobody realer than Gorillas." Damian Hernandez predicting Ember Moon to answer the challenge of Deonna Purrazzo on this show. Frantic World says Britt Baker, Taya Valkyrie. Okay. Stop it. Nick Jackson says, I would love if Eddie pulled a swerve and joined the Honor No More. Be good Heat, since he's been one of the pillars of Impact over the last few years. He also says it could go either way. I'll go with Mike Bailey, and then immediately changed it. Actually, not. Wait, Chris Bay. We got the OG Sirap saying, what's up from my home country? What's up? Thanks for joining us.
What's your home country, though?
Let us know, good brother.
Home country.
We got Nick Jackson who says I'm 4-2 in predictions. He's tied with me, so he's tied for second place. So he's in it. Singh says Mickey James will still be the champion after No Surrender. Frantic World says Mickey. Negro Buck says Mickey. He also says Moose. We got Singh who says Morrissey will win. They will put the belt of the title on him for a few months, so he thinks different from us. Fifth Generation Carney saying God all motherfucking day. John West joining us. Thank you for joining us, good brother. Hit the like, subscribe button if you are new. And of course, super chat donations. This is a last call for super chat donations because one more card for us to give our predictions for, and we're going to wrap things up. Super chat donations help out the channel greatly. We are a self-funded channel. I don't got a job outside of talking about wrestling with y'all, so helps me out greatly. Help us out. Super chat us your opinions, your predictions for Impact No Surrender, New Japan Pro Wrestling Golden Series, or WWE Elimination Chamber 2022. As we're going to break down the card, starting from the bottom, you got Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with The Miz. This has started over the last couple of weeks. Miz has traded wins with Dominic Mysterio, thanks to interference from Rey Mysterio. This past week, Miz cost him a matchup against Alpha Academy and attacked both Mysterios, and now we have a battle of two former WWE champions, Miz and Mysterio. Top guy JJ, who you got?
This is such an odd pairing. I don't even know how to predict. I guess I'm gonna go with the Miz because he's gonna win dirty. But this is odd. This is an odd match.
Just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Romeo, who you got?
I'll go with Rey Mysterio. I don't have a reason for it. I just don't care about this.
I'm going to stick with my pick from our preview show on Wednesday and say The Miz. If you want to hear our initial predictions, you can go to the preview show. Thank you so much. You're supporting our preview shows very much. Almost 800 views on that video just in the last couple of days. But I can always switch my picks here on Tru Heel Heat. That's the champion. That's being second place and first place advantage for me and Romeo. Naomi and Ronda Rousey will be teaming in Saudi Arabia to versus the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. This match was made coming out of last week's main event of SmackDown, where Charlotte Flair defeated Naomi in a great matchup to successfully defend her title. And then after the match, Charlotte and Sonya jumped Naomi. Ronda made the save to set up this matchup that could potentially have Ronda Rousey with one arm tied behind her back. Romeo, who you got in this one?
On the preview show, I made a different pick, but now from this information I'm learning, I'm on Charlotte and Sonya. They better not lose this damn match with that crap. I'll tell you that much.
Top guy, JJ, who you got?
So is it true? I heard that Charlotte and Naomi had a really good match a couple weeks ago.
They had a great match on SmackDown last week.
Okay, might be something worth checking out. I have no idea what's going on with stipulations in this match. I'm just gonna go off normal rip and just assume that Ronda and Naomi is gonna win because they're challengers going into WrestleMania. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this Charlotte and this Naomi and Sonya thing is still going on.
Yes, 5 months. 5 months now.
Sheesh.
And Singh letting us know. Mumbai, India in the house. Hey,
nice. India, yes, sir.
Let's go. Hit that subscribe button, man. I want to see you more often in the live chat. Represent India in the live chat, my brother. We got no disqualification. No disqualification or false count anywhere match. It's gonna be Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Drew McIntyre wins.
Who was your pick for the last match? You're sticking with what you had before?
Oh. Come on. Why are you even asking me? Naomi and Ronda Rousey about to make Sonya tap with one arm. I love it. Ronda is gonna embarrass Sonya.
That'd be more than embarrassing.
Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. This match happened at day one.
What the fuck is this?
Don't have to ask.
This match happened at day one. Drew McIntyre won there, but he was taken out, injured his neck by Corbin and Moss. He came back and returned in the Royal Rumble matchup, taking out both men, setting up this matchup at Elimination Chamber. McIntyre all around.
This is on a pay-per-view?
Yes, this is.
Again.
Rip
if Drew loses, he should just retire.
Rip to McIntyre's run. Damn. Rip.
A lot of these matches, I think, are only here because two of the matches are going to go very short, in my opinion. SmackDown Tag Team titles is on the line. It's going to be the Usos representing the Bloodline versus the Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders won a fatal four-way at the beginning of the year to earn this opportunity. They haven't been really heated up, but this should be a good matchup. Who you got here, Romeo?
Usos.
Top guy, JJ?
I haven't heard anything about the Viking Raiders winning anything, so I'm going to go with the Usos.
What's up, Jugs Delaney? I am agreeing with you. I think the Usos win. Next, we got the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup to determine the winner who will face the Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania 38. We'll see Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, and the mystery person was revealed as Alexa Bliss.
Oh, Alexa Bliss is back?
Yep. 5 of the 6 women competed in the gauntlet match with Bianca Belair winning, so she'll be the final participant in this matchup. But Alexa Bliss made herself the mystery participant after she finished her therapy sessions this past Monday on Raw. Who wins and versus the Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania? Top guy, JJ?
Is Bianca Belair not the only main event player in this match? You got an argument for Rhea Ripley, but come on. It's got to be between one of these two women.
Don't upset the Liv Morgan fans.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair because no one else makes sense.
No, I could see Alexa winning, but I'm going with Bianca Belair as well. It's just it fits the story they've been trying to tell.
Has Alexa been back for a while?
No, this is her return match. This is how she's returning.
She's going to go to WrestleMania off this.
I think so. I'm going with Alexa Bliss. I've been very adamant that WWE has not given me any indication that Bianca Belair is going to verse Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. And more importantly, the reason I'm going for Alexa Bliss, I don't want to hear any of you pro WWE fans that's going to be like, you see, Bianca's versing Becky at WrestleMania. This was all the plan from the beginning. This is why she lost to her in 26 seconds at SummerSlam to set up her big win at WrestleMania. Bullcrap. That wasn't the plan, and I don't want it to be the plan.
Damn. Alexa Becky would be very underwhelming.
He spoke his mind. So you can act for.
I chose violence. Raw Women's Champion.
By the way.
Oh, he said Alexa.
Alexa.
Wow!
I hate when that happens.
Raw Women's Championship is on the line.
Fucking Lily is in my fucking system.
Lily took over Alexa. Raw Raw Women's Championship will be on the line on this show as Becky Lynch will defend against her idol, Lita. Lita returned at the Royal Rumble the following night on Raw. She challenged Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch said that Lita was her hero or inspiration for becoming a wrestler. There would be no Becky Lynch if there wasn't no Lita, but this challenge has really caused a crisis of confidence for Becky Lynch. She seemed disheveled and heartbroken that her hero would try to take the thing she loves the most before WrestleMania. Great character work, probably the best character work Becky Lynch has done this past week on Monday Night Raw. So who do you got in this one, Becky or Lita? Romeo?
Becky, and this match is going to be ugly. You heard it from me first. It's going to be bad.
Top guy, JJ.
So they was serious about this Lita shit. If there's one more run shit, huh?
Yep.
She made 2 pay-per-views in a row. Oh wow. So have they had some good exchanges on Raw?
They've had really good promo work, and like I said, this past Monday they had a contract signing where Becky just was totally different. Her hair was disheveled. She had sunglasses on. She talked. She was basically she's completely mind fucked by the fact her hero is trying to take her title before WrestleMania.
So then Becky overcomes her demons and tramples over her hero.
I'm sorry, I love you. Becky Lynch wins. I think this match goes 7 or 8 minutes tops. And another
women's matches on a Saudi Arabia card.
How far have we come? And Becky and Lita were featured in the billboard in Saudi as well. So good time for the women. Very proud of them. They should be very proud of themselves. WWE Universal Championship match won't be long either, as it will be Roman Reigns going one-on-one with Bill Goldberg.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
These two men were supposed to go one-on-one at WrestleMania 36 2 years ago, but Roman Reigns took a sabbatical, left the WWE to take a break during the pandemic. He returned in the summer, and immediately we were introduced to the Tribal Chief and his heel turn, where he became the Universal Champion. And for the past 530 plus days, he has reigned, and he will now verse a 2-time Universal Champion, Goldberg. Who wins? Goldberg, Roman, top guy, JJ.
Oh my God, they really trying to do this WrestleMania 36 all over again. Oh my God.
I love seeing his instant reactions to the card as he learns of it.
I love it. Yes, this is the best part of it.
I was like, how do you pick against Goldberg? Like, it's so asinine that this is happening. I'm going with my Tribal Chief. I said I'm not picking against my Tribal Chief until he loses. That hasn't happened yet, clearly, over 500 days. Tribal Chief somehow pulls a miracle out of his ass and beats the unstoppable, invincible Goldberg.
We got a comment here from Alan Weinstein. I think Madcap beats Drew with the help of Corbin again. That's actually an option, ladies and gentlemen. I think Alan Weinstein might get a point just off of that. I'm sticking to my guns and going for Bianca, says Negro Buck. Frantic World says Alexa Bliss is going to bring Lily out and win. A whole bunch of different picks here and different options.
This is a comment that we've said for years. From Frantic World.
Bill Goldberg, fuck. Goldberg needs to take that and stop wrestling.
Yo, I don't understand how you're not pissed off at Goldberg's overstayed welcome as you were with The Undertaker and his overstayed welcome. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
because he gave me one retirement ceremony. I didn't have to sit through 2 or 3 of them.
Yo, like, Goldberg is headlining the show, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
We don't know.
I got a question for Top Guy. Do you think our Tribal Chief can carry Goldberg to a possible match?
No. I just need to match I need my Tribal Chief to just win and get the fuck out of
like 10 seconds.
I don't see this going over 5 minutes.
Gonna go like this match. Let's go over under. I'm going about 3 minutes for this match.
I'm going 4 minutes.
8.
Wow, you're wilding. You want Goldberg. You want Goldberg to suffer.
Here first. If this match goes 7 minutes and 30 seconds, Romeo wins.
Yep, he does. He definitely does. Finally, we got the main event, the titular event, WWE Championship on the line inside the Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley will defend against the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory, Riddle, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles. Seth Rollins earned this opportunity by defeating Roman Reigns by disqualification at the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar, this is his rematch, while Austin Theory defeated Kevin Owens, Riddle defeated Otis, and AJ Styles defeated Rey Mysterio to earn their opportunity in this match here. Who walks out with the WWE Championship from Saudi Arabia and the Elimination Chamber? Top guy JJ.
Are we serious right now? Brock Lesnar's in the match. Are we serious right now? Brock is in the match, bro. You know he's going to WrestleMania title for title. He's made this proclamation for about a month and a half now. This is happening.
Yes. Romeo.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just eliminates everyone in this match.
I can legit see that. I can legit see that. I don't see anyone outside of Brock beating Bobby. I don't see anyone outside of Brock pinning Seth. So those are two people he's definitely going to eliminate. So I could see him eliminating the rest of the field for sure. Yeah. But let us know in the live chat if you think someone else will win. But that is all for our preview and predictions of a full jam-packed weekend of professional wrestling. If you're on patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, we're going to have the post up for No Surrender pick and predictions. We early released our No Surrender preview show up on the Patreon, so you can go over there and check that out when we're done here. But brings us to an end of another edition of Tru Heel Heat. Romeo, we appreciate you sitting in with us. Please let the people know where they can find you on social media and everything you got going on, sir.
Tru Heel Romeo on Twitter and Instagram. Tonight, we'll have a SmackDown review on the Teddy Turnbuckle YouTube channel. Tomorrow, join me for the watch-alongs, No Surrender and Elimination Chamber. I'll be on both of them, working the marathon shift. Sunday, True Rewind on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. We'll be covering In Your House International Incident from 1996. Monday, Rated Raw Superstars. Tuesday, NX3. Wednesday, AEW Dynamite watch-alongs. And Thursday's my day off. Leave me alone.
Very well said. Very well said, sir. And Top Guy JJ, where can the people find you, sir?
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHeel_Top Guy JJ. I'm just putting this out there for any of you motherfuckers that is actually trying to win this care package. It has a whole lot more shit that's involved in here. A lot more goodies, I promise. It has nothing to do with Titans. So there's a lot of good shit in there, a lot of value in here. Just saying. And all I need is for either one of you guys to either take down Nick Jackson or, hey, if Nick Jackson keeps reigning supreme, then, hey, you guys just all lost out because there's a lot of money in here.
He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth, Top Guy JJ. And he will be here again next Saturday.
Next week, 2 weeks in a row, baby.
2 weeks in a row. It's a rare occasion. Top Guy JJ will be back with us next week on Tru Heel Heat. You can find me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. All of my written work, most of my written work and video work is over there. Check out Fightful Overbook YouTube channel. Earlier today, I went live with Steven Jensen on Degrassi Dudes. You can also, if you're on Tru Heel's Twitch page, you can check out Degrassi Dudes post show where we watch best shows for Spinner and Manny over there. You can see me on the Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel with my Elimination Chamber preview and predictions with Kenny Bolin that we did earlier this week, as well as later tonight following Rampage and SmackDown on Smack Talk with Rick Ucchino and Dutch Mantel. Me and Rick do an awesome podcast weekly, 4 times a week, called Believe in Pro Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe over there. And of course, subscribe to and follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. Become an even bigger supporter, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month for exclusive content and even more to help out Tru Heel Heat. And CM, you tell the truth. Manny greater than Spinner. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. Manny Santos, Degrassi GOAT. Alan Weinstein saying thank you, Tru Heel Heat, for all the amazing content and all the hard work. He also says, I'm coming for that pair package. And Frantic World says, great live stream, guys. See you on the next one. Next one, we will be dropping our Impact Wrestling No Surrender preview and predictions tonight, 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time. So watch Rampage, watch SmackDown, watch the review over on Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, and then right here, you could finish off your night with our Impact No Surrender preview and predictions. So for Miss Krssi Love, for Top Guy JJ, for Romeo, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 163, Stone Cold Crossroads. We are signing off until next time.
Oh, hell yeah.